Yes, 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 yes. UNA. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. UNA. Yeah. I'm back. I am back. I am back. I am back. All right, we've got a special session tonight. All right. We have a special session tonight. I got to get my camera straight. Now, I'm going to be doing some things tonight that I haven't done before, but we're going to try it. Okay. So we have a session tonight. Why, I thought I was done. I was ready to go to bed, get ready to enjoy myself and all this good stuff. And so I'm trying to fix my little, my camera, give me some more space up here. Let me see if that does it. Ha! No, not really. All right. So now, what are we talking about tonight? What are we talking about tonight? Because I was getting ready to go to bed. I was like, I'm done. I did a session today. It's about an hour or something long, almost 2 hours. Then I did another session after that. And I was like, okay, I go to bed. Hold on, let me see. Okay, am I live? All right. I need you to, yeah, there we go. There we go. So what happened was I was given information about this angry Moor, and he had some things to say about the information that I have been given to all 28 something thousand followers or what have you. Okay. I don't even know how many there are because I don't keep up with it. Only thing I'm about is making sure I put the information out. I have to document what my findings are. I have to document what the facts are. And so I'm going to respond to this brother. And I want to say, hey, brother. Hey, how you doing? I want to thank you. First of all, I want to thank this brother. The name of the channel on TikTok is called Sundry Moor's Islam. And normally I don't respond to trolls. However, I'm not calling this brother a troll. I think he has information and he has an issue with the information that I have been giving, some of it. And then that's the only thing he wants to be upset about, because I think he wants to claim that he's going to try to tear my channel down. Well, we'll get into that. But to this brother, I want to say to you, hello. And I also want to say to you, thank you for the respectful manner in which you responded. And this is why I don't have a problem with responding to him. And so what I'm going to do right now is go through his video point for point. Now, I'm going to let you know, some of y'all are going to be aggravated because you're like, why are you stopping the video? Oh, I'm going to stop it. Oh, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down. But I do want to say I appreciate him. I don't appreciate the manner in which he tried to threaten, because he came with some threats like, oh, if you throw rocks, we're going to throw stones back. Even don't throw stones. I just give the facts. Now, if you have some facts, I encourage you to bring the facts, but don't ever threaten me, because everything that I do is ordained by God, by God. And if you want to tear this down, then what you do is you're going to deal with my God. I don't even have to do nothing. I don't have to throw a thing. I don't have to put up a shield. Devilery is protected. So you do what you do, and then I'm going to give the facts. And what I encourage us to do is to come together and let's have a live session such that you can present all of your facts about what you think the Moors are, and I will present all of the facts about what I know about what happened in this territory, because I only speak what I have researched. And let me say this, brother, I am not going to make any assumptions about you. I'm not going to be disrespectful to you. I have a love for you. I don't care what your color is, but I have a love for, more than anything, the spirit, because you didn't come with negativity and bad words or bad energy. So I respect you. So I'm going to get into this. I'm going to break this down with respect. I'm going to put the information out, and then I encourage you, let's have a live. And it's not a debate, because anytime we're talking about the facts are just the facts. That's it. We're just going to present the facts, and then you let everybody else determine whether or not they are true. That's how we do that. I want to say thank you for everybody who's joining. Thank you for everybody who's liked and shared. And once again, to my brother, Sundry Moor's Islam is the name of the channel, and we're going to play that. And again, I'm going to be breaking this down. So we're going to get to it. Hold on. Let me make sure I got everything up so that I can go through this step by step. All right. So we're going to break this down step by step, what this brother said. And he's upset because I have given information about what the Moors really are, or what my research is showing went down with the Moors in this land and who they really are. And he's feeling like I am misleading people. And he said some things, and we're going to break everything down that he said so that we're clear, because he doesn't know who Diva-Laree is. He doesn't know what UNA is. He does not know what we do. He does not understand a lot of facts about the things that we've spoken on. And we're going to show that in this session. Again, this is with due respect, because he showed respect in the way, with exception of the threats. I don't like threats. And I think that he is one of the people who has been getting our information flagged. And to that brother, I will say this: when you try to tear down something, you only tear down yourself. You should know this if you know law, if you know universal law, and if you are of the Islam that you say you are, then you should know that anytime you try to tear down something of somebody else's, then you are the one who will be torn down. I am ordained by God. And if you are ordained by God, then you don't have to try to tear down nothing I'm doing. And when it comes to the people and my people operate with kindness, compassion, and love, honor, integrity, respect. That's what we operate under. Those are my people. It doesn't matter what skin color you are. Those are my people. And when it comes to my people, it's more than just, Islam, or we standing under the Moors, or over here. No, we standing under God. We don't need a UCC code, even though we will use them because they're federal. We know federal helps us. But if you know who you are, then you stand under God. And that's who we stand under. Any trying to tear this down, you're going to tear yourself down. What you want to do is learn the facts about what I'm saying. And you are welcome. You are welcome to come and let's have a live session and you present your facts. And I'm going to present mine. And we don't have to agree. You don't have to agree on the facts. The facts are what they are. And then we can go from there. All right. All right. So let's get into this. We're set over here. Let me go ahead and play this. I'm going to play this session. And let's see what we got. All right. So I gotta split my screen here. In order to get this. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm going to play this session, and actually I'm going to just let it go through here, and then I'm going to let you, we're going to go from there.
This is a quick video to address the UNA Republic, a page that is going around TikTok claiming that she has knowledge of the Moors. So to address the first issue, that Moors don't have rights, to you and your 28,000 followers.
He says that I said that Moors don't have rights. Okay, I'm gonna let this play, and then I'm gonna respond to everything he's saying, everything word for word. All right, so I'm gonna let it play.
That's not true. The Moors arrived in America prior to the colonizers. And at that particular time when the Moors arrived here, there was no such thing as a republic, nor a democracy, nor a United States corporation. Moors don't come under the jurisdiction of any of them corporate terms that was used for the benefit of the Europeans and their descendants. The term Moor has nothing to do with maritime law. Maritime law is a conventional law made up by other than the Moors that only govern non-Muslims. Moors have always been under Islamic law wherever they went, whether it was in Arabia, whether it was in Africa, whether it was in Spain, whether it was Andalusia, whether it was in Sicily, parts of Italy, or Turkey, or even America. Any other place where the Moors went, they took the Sharia law with them. Sharia. They took the law with them. They did not take anything called maritime law. As a matter of fact, we don't even have a title like that in our law. So maritime law don't govern Moors. Not at all. But we could use maritime law in America. We could use admiralty law. We could use common law, because common law actually derives from Islamic law. And that is a legal and historic fact that is known by Muslims and non-Muslims, by lawyers who are Muslims and non-Muslim lawyers.
Okay. All right, this is going to be a long session. I'm going to break this down as he goes. So you've heard part of it. So let me start from the beginning. I'm going back from the beginning. If you want to see this once again, this is let me roll down here. Sundry Moors Islam. So I want to hear it from his mouth, so then I can respond for each bullet point that he calls himself shooting off.
Claiming that all right, she has knowledge of the Moors. So to address the first issue, that Moors don't have rights.
Okay, right there. And I hope y'all can hear this. I'm going to try to turn the volume up more. He says to address the first issue that Moors don't have rights. All right, let me I gotta finagle this because it's a little bit different session today. Let me flip this screen so that I can get to this. All right, so let's clear this up. First of all, I didn't say Moors don't have rights. And this is what I mean when I say people half listen and they half hear what I'm saying. All right, so let's be clear on this. What I said is, if you're calling yourself a Moor, you don't have true title to the land. Now, we're going to keep going through this. And I hope, you know what? I could just flip it. I can just do it like this. So let me make this clear. Again, he's trying to make it seem as though I said, oh, Moors don't have right. What happens when people hear things, they knee jerk. And this is why I say you can't be in here knee jerking on things. You got to hear the information in its entirety. And he clearly doesn't know what we're about. You're going to see that as we go through this session. All right. Hold on. Let me flip this back.
To you and your 28,000 followers. That's not true. The Moors arrived in America prior to the colonizers. And at that.
Now, he says, I'm flipping the camera again. He says the Moors arrived in America prior to the colonizers. Now, let's get this straight, because what you're saying is that, oh, well, they came, we was here before them, but there was also another people before them, these so-called Moors. And what time frame are we talking about? See, he's not going to be willing to say that, and I'm going to tell you why. He's at a later time frame than what we're even speaking about. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. He goes on to say this.
That particular time when the Moors arrived here, there was no such thing of a republic, nor a democracy, nor a United States corporation.
He says by the time they arrived, there was no republic, nor democracy, nor United States of America. So once again, let's be clear on this. What time frame is he speaking about? So what I'll say here is, this brother has a lot of questions to answer with respect to what he's saying, because when we're talking about a time frame of when the so-called Moors came in here, we're talking about, first of all, after 1492. He's going to say, well, Mansa Musa was over here already. Okay. But once again, you keep saying the Moors came over from another land, from another territory. There were already people in the land. But we're going to continue, because he says some things that make it clear he's not understanding what he's actually saying. Let's go. Let's go.
Moors don't come under the jurisdiction of any of them corporate terms that was used for the benefit of the Europeans.
Right there. Boom. Pay attention, people, because I need it to be made clear. This is one of the issues with the information you're getting from the Moors. And again, I'm not dissing this brother, or I'm not even dissing the Moors as a whole. What I'm telling you is there are holes in their information. Who were the original Europeans? This is what they're not telling you. This is why the original European, first of all, what was Europe? Where did the term Euro come from? Queen Europa. Well, who was she? A melanated woman. Queen Europa. See, this is what I mean. I'm just going to give you the facts. You got to go look them up. Good luck in looking them up, because their history is being changed as we speak. But Queen Europa, this is where Euro came from in the first place. Then when we talk about the Europeans, the original Europeans were Morocco, Tunis, Algiers, Tripoli, those people in Northern Africa, those were your original Europeans, because what is not being told is originally all of the area that you know of as Africa today, that was Europe. And the territory you know of as Europe today, that was Africa. See, what we know is that Africa is a colonizer term, which is why this Moor, he's not going to call himself African, because they know that that's a colonizer term. Well, wait a minute. If everybody's claiming to be from Morocco, that's in Africa, ain't it? Why wouldn't you call yourself African if you're from Africa? Why? Because that's a colonizer term. But the term European, that was applied to melanated people originally. Again, Moroccans, Moors of Morocco, Tunis, Algiers, Tripoli, Montezuma, those were melanated people. Those were sailors. Those were pirates. Those were the people of the Barbary states, melanated folks. But he's acting like the term European is something that came from the Albion, when the truth is, when you talk about Republic and Democrat and United States of America, those come from melanated people. Those are melanated people who coined those phrases. We gotta go deeper because it's clear he doesn't understand who these people are that he's talking about. He wants to make it seem like the white man did all this dirt, when it was melanated people that were doing the dirt from the beginning. All right, I'm going on.
And their descendants. The term Moor has nothing to do with maritime law. Maritime law is a conventional law made up by other than the Moors.
He says maritime law is a law made up by other than the Moors. See, if I ask him, well, is there such thing as Albion Moors? If he really knows what he's talking about, then he should be telling you yes, because Moor doesn't have anything to do with skin color. Moor had to do with people who were sailors, most of which were melanated people. Is he going to tell the truth? See, this is why I say we need to do a live. Then we can ask these questions. He can ask me questions. I can ask him questions, and then we can go from there. But right now, he's not telling the whole truth, and then they get mad at me because I'm putting it out there. The facts are there were Albion, so-called white Moors, and then there was your melanated Moors, the vast majority of which, your sailors from Tunis, Algiers, Tripoli, Montezuma, all of those places where your melanated people inhabited. All right, I'm going to keep going.
That only govern non-Muslims. Moors have always been under Islamic law wherever they went.
So they want to tell you that you're a Moor. If you're a Moor, are you under Islamic law? He's making it out to be a religion. Are you under Islamic law, you melanated people? Are you falling under that particular law? I mean, I'm not telling you to or not to. That is your right. That's why I don't tell you who you are. People ask me, well, Diva, look, the only being I stand under is God. And that doesn't deal with any religion. Not Islam, not Christianity, not nothing. I'm not telling you what to do. You've got to find your own spiritual entity within you. That's what I'm here for, to guide you back to spirit. When you get to spirit, then you'll know where to go from there. You will know who's snowing you, who's telling you the truth and who's not. You will know who's trying to put you back under a religious umbrella or put you under an umbrella of some place where you don't really want to be. I'm not trying to guide you either way. I'm just here to give you the facts. But right here, you have this brother who's saying, Moors were under the Islamic. Meanwhile, he's trying to make it seem like all of the Moors were of one particular group when that's not the case. You had Moors of Morocco who had their own agenda. And then you had another group of Moors. I told you about the elite Moors who created the counties. That's who created the counties. He's trying to make it seem like Albions created all this stuff when they didn't. Who created the United States of America? Those were melanated people. Those were Moors. And that's why you hear people tell you that the Constitution was based off of Islam. It was based off the principles of you have a right to your religion regardless of what it is. That's what it was based off of. But a lot of those Moors, had to do with the creation of the Constitution and the creation of the United States of America Incorporated. Let's keep going.
Whether it was in Arabia, whether it was in Africa, whether it was in Spain, whether it was Andalusia, whether it was in Sicily, parts of Italy, or Turkey, or even America, any other place where the Moors went, they took the Sharia law with them. Sharia. They took the law with them. They did not take anything called maritime law. As a matter of fact, we don't even have a title like that in our law. So maritime law don't govern Moors. Not at all. But we could use maritime law in America.
maritime law doesn't govern doesn't govern Moors, rather. So when we're talking about the people who were selling into the Americas, even when you talk about the British Moors or brutish Moors, see, he might not even accept them as being true Moors because they was not under Islam. When they were coming in here, the brutish Moors, it wasn't about Islam. So what I'm saying is, for him to say the Moors are not under maritime law, when we got these Moors who were selling, your British Moors, your Tunis, Algiers, Tripoli, Montezuma, and they were all dealing with maritime law. Then he wants to make it seem as though the Albion is the one who created maritime law, when that's not the case. That came from melanated people. Everything comes from melanated people. All these laws come from melanated people. Islam comes from melanated people. Christianity comes from melanated people. Even Judaism and all of that, melanated people. But he's making it seem like, oh, it was the Albion created this maritime law and Moors didn't. Okay, did we forget about the British Moors? And did we forget about Tripoli, the Montezuma Moors? And all of these other people who were calling themselves Jews, who were not under Islam, they too were Moors, most of which were melanated. But okay, I'm going to continue. So you're understanding that he's saying things that are not valid. Because he's talking about one specific group of Moors. He's not talking about all Moors. He can't be.
Use admiralty law. We could use common law because common law actually derives from Islamic law.
He says common law derives from Islamic law. Now, I'm going to say this. Common law deals with, once again, the Republic, which he claims that melanated people didn't have anything to do with that, or Moors, he says, had nothing. Maybe Moors didn't, but I tell you, melanated people did have something to do with that. And he talks about when it comes in. But what I will say is, he's saying that Islam or common law is based off of Islam. I can't refute that. I cannot refute that. So if he says it, I'd love to see some evidence of it, because I cannot refute it. Everything that I'm showing when it comes to the Republic, it came from a group of what I call elite Moors, people who had knowledge of law and knew how to create governments. Those were the elite Moors. So if those Moors were of Islam, and they were the ones who established this Republic and these common laws, I can't refute it. It sounds in line with me. So again, I'm just here to say, what are the facts? That could be factual. I can't back it because I haven't vetted it yet, but it could be factual. All right, let me continue.
And that is a legal and historic fact that is known by Muslims and non-Muslims, by lawyers who are Muslims and non-Muslim lawyers, and the government of the United States of America. As far as the republic and the democracy is concerned, that didn't come into play until the Europeans had really broke away from the British crown.
He says republic and democratic, which are forms of government, he's confusing it with Republic Party and Democratic Party. They're not the same thing. We've talked about that. And again, this guy's not somebody who's actually watched the videos in our sessions. So he says it didn't come until the Europeans broke away from Britain. Remember, I just went over history with you guys. This is why it's important to know what really went down in history, so you know who's snowing you and who's not. And again, I don't think this brother trying to snow you. He's got his own indoctrination of what he's been told by the Moors, and I do my own research. That's the difference. So he's just told you that the Europeans broke away from Britain. Now, once again, who were the original Europeans? What happened to the Indo-European? Is there a difference? Y'all know there's a difference between the European versus the Indo-European. So the Europeans, who were they? Well, these elite Moors that had come into this land and had created the counties, who had created the Declaration and the United States of America Incorporated. That's who they were. They were Moors. Those were the original Europeans, and they were breaking away. Yeah, they broke away. This is in 1777 when this whole mess started. Why did they break away? Because Britain was in this territory known as the Americas, and they were running roughshod not only over the original people, but all the other people in the land, which included these elite Moors that had come in here to establish a government. And I just told you all why they came here and how they came here and what they did to the original people. And I'm going to say it so that he can hear it. Whoever these elite Moors were, they were the original people running the United States of America. This is what y'all know of as the Continental Congress. This is why you don't understand that there was other presidents before George Washington, most of which were melanated people, dark skinned like myself, woolly hair like myself. So what I'm trying to help you to understand is that when these people came in and they were pulling away from Britain, they was like, listen, we sick of this, what these British people are doing over here. What we're going to do is create a constitution. We're going to create a declaration. And this establishes us as separate from Britain. So now they don't have any territory, any rights in this territory, and they were kicking Britain out, which was, as I told you guys, it was a hostile takeover of the companies that y'all know of as states of. It was these elite Moors that were taking over these companies and kicking Britain out. That's why there was the Revolutionary War. All right? So this is, again, he's not understanding what Europeans are. He's not understanding that the original people in here, those presidents before George Washington, they were melanated. They were Moors. And they might have walked under Islam, but the Constitution comes from a group of people who wanted to be separate from Britain or any kind of royalty blood rulership. This is why there's the Constitution, the way it's set up. This is why there is the Declaration of Independence and why it's set up in that way. Okay, let me continue. I hope y'all getting this. He's not aware of what Europeans are. He's not even aware that it was melanated people who were really originally running this country. Melanated people originally ran the country. If you go to, and then he wants to say I didn't travel, you'll see that later on in this video. But go to South America. Go to Argentina, where it's more than 99% Albions. More than 99%. I said more than 99%. I didn't stutter on that. More than 99% Albion, so-called white people, are down there in Argentina, and they will tell you, they got it in their emblems, that that place was run by melanated people. The government there was created by melanated people. And when did they lose power? Mid-1800s. The same time Moors lost power here in the Americas. But what's the difference with down there? They tell you the truth about what was going on in history. It's hidden up here in North America. But down there in Argentina, they're going to tell you, oh, yeah, melanated people used to run this place. Moors used to run this place. All right. He doesn't know that, clearly.
And this was in 1776. Well, it was an African Muslim ruling Morocco, which is called Marrakesh, right, at that time. And it was talking about the whole land that's stretching all the way from the tip of Morocco all the way back down to the Ghanaian Empire, which we call Timbuktu.
So he's talking about what is known as the Moorish Empire. And again, I'm not refuting any of this, what he's saying about the Moorish Empire and their power over in that territory known as Africa. They also, at some point, had Spain, which they were kicked out of Spain in 1492. All right. Again, I'm not refuting what the facts are. So I'm agreeing with him on that. But let's continue.
And further than that, that's much more larger than what you're talking about today. It was that Sultan who had actually went into contract with the United States based on their request.
Now, I want you to listen closely to what he just said. He said the Sultan went into contract with the United States based on their request, and he says it was around 1777, 1776, which really it would have been more like 1789. All right, 1789. This is when George Washington came into effect, and George Washington was a crony to the Queen of England. All right, he was the first, Britain's first attempt at getting back control of the land, and so he was undercover. All right, so now let's be clear on this. He says that Morocco went into contract. Now I need y'all to be clear on this. This is why I go into this whole thing about the United States is not Morocco, and why you should not be calling it such, because when you do, you melanated people who are asleep and don't know who you are, you're giving up title to your land to another company. Morocco is a company, just like the state of Virginia, like I told you, just like the Virginia company, it's a company. So when you call it something, then you of the original people are the only one who have the rights to give this land to somebody else. And when you do that, that's exactly what you're doing. So let's be clear on this. He says the United States went into contract with these people who are the Morocco and the Sultan of Morocco by their request. What was the contract about? It just wanted Morocco to recognize them as a nation. That's what they wanted. They wanted to be, they needed another sovereign to say, hey, yep, they good. This is my little brother. This is my little sister. They good. Leave them alone. Because Morocco had power like that. But let's understand, by the time 1789 had come around, this is when these treaties came into effect. All right. This is when the treaties came into effect. But let's be clear about something. I hope y'all following me. I know this is hard to follow because it's very convoluted. And if you go and do your research, you will understand better what I'm saying. What happened is that by the time Morocco said, okay, we'll do a peace and friendship treaty, they had seized the ports of the United States of America. Why did they do that? Pay attention, peoples. Pay attention. So 1777, these elite Moors were like, hey, we want Britain out of here. This is why they created the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. We want Britain out because they're being, and if you read the Declaration, they'll make it clear. They were not of this land. They're telling you that in the Declaration of Independence. But they didn't want Britain in because of the tyranny that they were doing while they were being disrespectful. All right, so they kicked them out with that declaration. But before they did that, they were able to get Morocco to sign on for them. They got Morocco to sign on and recognize the United States as a nation in 1776, 1777. But watch this though. When that war came around in 1786, Morocco was one of the main countries that had seized the ports of the United States of America. Why? Because they were in bed with Britain. And so Britain sick Morocco on the United States. That's why they came in and start seizing the territories, because of that simple fact. All right. So they coming in, they're seizing the ports because Britain has told them, hey, look, we got a treaty. Britain has a treaty between you and Morocco, but not the United States. So since they have kicked us out, we need you to go in there and wage war against them and shut down all their ports. And that's what Morocco did. Now, he's not going to admit this. He's not going to admit this because We're not even, you'll see why. He doesn't want to admit this is the problem. This is another thing with the Moors. They want to act like the Moors have done things that were pristine with respect to everybody else. They want to act like the Moors are, oh, they're so grand, they were so kind, they were so loving. But you get ready to find out what exactly the Moors did to the original people. Remember, he said it himself. They came from another territory into this land called Americas. They came from somewhere else. But let's keep going.
Based on their request and based upon their tribute to the Sultan of Morocco, to execute an international treaty that will protect them in international waters doing trade and commerce. Because
this is true. They wanted protection. That's why they asked for Morocco to recognize them. But they weren't giving over their territory. And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you.
Because although the Declaration of Independence made them nationally free, it didn't make them internationally free. It took an international nation to recognize them. And not only that, Morocco had actually slid in the treaty that America was actually a part of Morocco.
So I'm going to say this. I've been studying and researching for years. And at no point do I say that I know everything. At no point do I say that I know everything. But I know a lot. I like to know a whole lot more. And when I try to have conversations with people who call themselves Moors, one of the issues is that if they give an answer, because a lot of times they will attack. If they don't have an answer, they a lot of times will attack. That's what they do. And then other times they just won't answer at all. So when I have said, I need to see documentation of what you're saying with respect to how Morocco somehow owns the Americas, I always ask that. And I never get an answer. I never get documentation. What documentation is it that's showing it? You know what they'll tell me? Oh, look at the George Washington treaty with something, George Washington letter to Morocco. Or they'll say, look at the treaty of Morocco, the Peace and Friendship Treaty. Knowing that they haven't read this treaty themselves. Because I've read it many, many times. I've read the letter to the Sultan many, many times. And I'm going to get into some things. I'm going to let him keep talking. But what he's not talking about is what the Moors did to the original people of the land. He's not talking about that. And that's the problem. They clearly don't come from this land. The original people do not speak that language that you heard him speaking when he first came on. They don't speak Hebrew or none of that stuff. He said the original people of the land don't speak that. But here he is speaking that and talking so much greatness about how they owned all the way to the tip of the Africa, to the northern of Spain, which is a great territory that you never talk about. And he don't know what I talk about because he don't even watch my sessions. But okay, I'm going to keep going.
In the treaty itself, I'm probably sure you have never read the Moroccan treaty.
Hi, the ham sandwich. Do you know what I've read? And then here's the second thing. What's Moroccan treaty you talking about? Hold on. He's talking about, again, I keep saying, where is the proof? Because I'm going to show you my proof. Where is the proof? And you keep talking about a Moroccan treaty. What Moroccan treaty? Which one? Are you talking about the Peace and Friendship Treaty? I read that thing up and down, back and front, side to side. I read it all. And I'm letting you know that that treaty had nothing to do with land. It just had to do with the people. But at the same time, it doesn't even have to do with what you're talking about. It does not say nothing about how the United States is owned by Morocco. As a matter of fact, please, somebody go read, because it doesn't say anything about land. The only thing that thing is, let me tell you about the two peoples that it's talking about. In there, it's talking about the Americans. And if you will remember, y'all, I told you, go look up the term American and understand American is a Hebrew term. It means land of the copper-colored people. Look up American, comma, 1828 dictionary. American, comma, 1828 dictionary, and it's going to tell you who are the Americans. That term was originally applied to copper-colored people who look like me. All right, so now we get this. You got Americans in this document, the Peace and Friendship Treaty, and then you got Moors. The Moors were the people of Morocco. The Americans were the people in this territory who had created that Declaration of Independence. Once again, this didn't happen until 1789, when George Washington came into office. That's when this Peace and Friendship came about, Peace and Friendship Treaty. But remember, before that, there was some melanated people running this land, running that office. All right, I need y'all to know that, because he clearly don't know history, but he wants to claim that I don't know history. That's okay. If we do a live, we can both present our information, but I'm going to present some information here tonight. Let's go.
So you're speaking on things that you have no clue. Number one, you don't know nothing about the treaty, because if you did, you would have said that. You have no understanding of the Free Sundry Moors Act of 1790.
All right. Let's take a look at the Free Sundry Moors Act of 1790. Where is it? I got it. Okay. Free Sundry Moors Act. The Free Sundry Moors Act of 1790 was a 1790 advisory resolution passed by South Carolina House of Representatives, clarifying the status of free subjects of the Sultan of Morocco, Mohammed bin Abdallah. And the resolution offered the option that free citizens of Morocco were not subject to laws governing blacks and slaves. Doesn't that sound like the Peace and Friendship Treaty? That's exactly what it is. Somebody look up the Peace and Friendship Treaty, and you're going to find that that's exactly what it did. I know about the Peace and Friendship Treaty, and I know about now the Moors and Sundry Act of 1790. It just said that if our people from Morocco come down there to the United States, then if they do something terrible, then you send them back up here. And if your people from America and the Americans come up here to Morocco and they do something terrible, then we're going to send them back to you. We're going to make sure they have safe voyage and safe passage. And then you're going to make sure that our people have safe voyage and safe passage. Okay, get it? I want y'all to recognize these years that we're talking about. 1790, all right? And then if he's talking about the Moroccan Treaty, if you're talking about the Peace and Friendship Treaty, 1789, all right, y'all write notes, take notes, so we can get this timeline in order. Then watch what else he says. Oh, yeah, that's Peace and Friendship Treaty. That Sundry Moors Act, that's all it is. Let's go.
You have no understanding of the Amistad Mutiny decision. These were Muslims. And you sure don't have any understanding of the War of 1812 with Salih bin Laden.
All right. So those two things he said, hold on. He said, whatever he said in the War of 1812, Salih bin Laden, those I could not find. I'm not saying they don't exist. Once again, Diva don't know everything. I'm not saying they don't exist. What I'm telling you is I couldn't find them. But what I can tell you is he brought up another year, 1812. Oh, we're ready. This girl get good. Hold on. Let me get some scissors. Hold on. I need to tell y'all what law is and the hierarchy of laws and help us to understand how laws apply to land, because he clearly doesn't know. Okay. So now, before I even go into that, I need to state how he keeps talking about the Moors and how he's a Moor. Are y'all not hearing? The Moors deals with Morocco. That's another land, another territory. He keeps trying to say that some kind of way they are together, or that Morocco owns the United States. I need to say something before I even go into this, because y'all need to understand how laws work. When we're talking about international laws, a people cannot give up their land and sell it, even if they tried. They cannot sell the land or give it up, even if they tried. That's by international law. Now, he keeps talking about Morocco and all of this other stuff. It's another territory. You can't claim to be from another territory and then come into somebody else's territory and take claim of it. That's not how this works. Law doesn't work like that. That's not even common law. How does it work where you think, well, we from over here and because we cousins, then your land is my land. That's not how that works. You keep saying you Moroccan. You keep saying you're a Moor. You keep bragging about Africa and how much territory y'all had over there. Then you can't claim territory here as a Moor. You're not honoring the mothers and fathers of this land. You want to honor the mothers and fathers of that land, well, then go over there then. Go over there. But over here, you honor the people of this land. So I need to get into law so we can understand how law works. When we have treaties, a treaty is where somebody has claimed territory to something. And part of that is first in line is first in time. Anybody who studies law knows that. So if somebody comes up and they make a claim to something, whomever is first in line with that claim, then they are first in time. And that means any other claim coming behind that is null and void. So he's talking about these other four things. He says the Moor Treaty, the Moroccan Treaty, which I think he's talking about the Peace and Friendship Treaty, that doesn't deal with land. And he's talking about the Free Sundry Moors Act by Congress, who put that in the South Carolina House of Representatives. That ain't even all of the United States. That's just South Carolina, but it's the same thing. I give you that. The Moroccan Peace and Friendship Treaty. When did that come into play? 1789. And then you got this War of 1812 by Selassie blah, blah, whoever he said. All right. But 1789, the original people was in the land long before that. The original people have written and spoken. I'm going to show you. And you all can find this, by the way, at UNA Republic /docs, DOCS. All right, I'm going to show you something. Because one of the things that he's clearly not understanding all right. So what he's clearly not understanding is that a treaty comes before anything else. And when somebody makes a declaration and it is on record, then that treaty stands above and beyond anything that comes behind it. All right. So I want to get into, I just want to show a list of the treaties, because you can go to UNA republic.com, and then you can find a list of the treaties that are up. And let's take a look at them right now. All right. So, and I know this is hard for you guys to see. That's why I have invited you to go to the site and check it out. But I want to read off some of these treaties. These are treaties that Britain made with the original people of the land. Pay attention, peoples, because he wants to tell you that I'm misinforming you, but I'm giving you proof that you can go and look up for yourself. Meanwhile, you're not going to find a treaty anywhere that says that the United States belongs to Morocco. But I'm going to show you, even if you did find one, I want you to notice the dates. Now, he talked about the date of a Moroccan treaty in 1789. He talked about the date of some Moroccan treaty or information passed out by 1790. And this thing only deals with the people, not with the land. Then he talks about some war of 1812 that gives the Moroccan or the Moors some kind of title to the United States. Meanwhile, let's talk about this Treaty of Easton in 1758, long before 1790. Let's talk about the Great Treaty of 1722 between the five nations, the Mohicans, and the colonies of New York, Virginia, and Pennsylvania. Talk about the deed and trust from 3 of 5 nations in 1726. Let's talk about the treaty held with the Indians in 1742. All of these treaties come long before anything he's talking about. And let me make this clear. I have read each and every last one of them. I don't post nothing that I don't read in its entirety. I don't post nothing that I don't read in its entirety. So you got treaties here, 1742, 1744, 1752, 1754, 1760, 1768, 1779. 1677, the Mid-Plantation Treaty. All that predate, oh shoot. God dang. Hold on, keep it running.
Love has truly been good to me.
are you doing, brother? Yes. You want to do this live tonight? You want to do this right now? Let's do this right now. Where you at? Send me a message and I will send you a link so that we can go live. If you there, Sandri, I want you to send a message. Let's go live. We'll do this right here, right now. You there, Sandri? Where you at? I'm going through this thing, and I would love for that brother to come on here so that we can have this conversation. I will send you a link. Sandri Moors, if that's you, yeah, that's him. I know that logo. Let's go. Let's go. Let's have this live session if you ready. All right. If I'm back up. If I'm back up, okay. All right. So I'm just trying to get all my system back up. Sandri, I'm rolling on this thing. If you want to come on so you can present your information, let me know. So to those of you who are just joining, I want to say welcome to you. This is a response to a gentleman, and I will call him a gentleman because he was kind of respectful. He threatened me. Steven don't like to be threatened because I stand under God and I'm always protected. So just note that. But he was respectful to a certain degree in his response to what I said concerning Moors. And so we're going through step by step. The name of his, and I'm going to find it here real quick. The name of his channel is Sandri Moors Islam. And Sandri Moors Islam, once again, he's in the room because he's old enough to come on with me. Because one of the things I say to you guys, I only speak what facts are. So this is not a debate. It will not debate because what I want to do is present facts, and I want to present my facts. So as long as we show respect for each other, which we will, there's no need. It's not a debate. The facts are what facts are, and what I'm presenting to you are facts. So when I left off, we were talking about these 4 different topics that he spoke about. The Moroccan Treaty. He didn't say which one, but if he's talking about that peace and friendship treaty, I read it up and down and back and front. If he's talking, then he goes on to talk about the Free Sandri Moor Act of 1790, which the Free Sandri Moors Act is based on what the Peace and Friendship Treaty says. And let's be clear, that Peace and Friendship Treaty between Morocco and the United States of America has nothing to do with land. Anybody who reads it with clarity will know it has nothing to do with land. The Peace and Friendship Treaty only deals with the people, and what it basically says is the same thing that this the Sandri Moors Act of 1790 says. And what it says is, all right, this is Morocco telling America that if your people come to Morocco and they do some dirt, then what we're going to send them back down there to you, we're going to give them passes. Likewise, if my people come down there to your place, America, and some dirt, and you send them back up here to us. Now, here's the thing, that treaty dealt with 2 entities, Americans, so-called Americans, and it dealt with so-called Moors. The Moors were of Morocco, the Americans were of the territory known as the Americas. Now, let's be clear, when we're talking about Morocco and Moors, you're talking about people of another land. You're not talking about the original people here. And then again, I just showed you all of these that come way before any of these documents here that show the original people are the owners, and this land is in patents to this day by the original people of the land. This land is in land patents. So let's be clear on what's going on. When I go through the land patents, as I told you, you can find at unarepublic.com/docs, DOCS, and you can pull down this whole list of treaties that's telling you. And these treaties come, he's talking about something as far back as 1790. But we got treaties here, 1758, 1722, 1726, 1742, 1744, 1752, 1760. Everything that comes well before anything he's talking about, saying that the land was to Morocco, which it never happened. And let me also talk about these treaties, because I don't post anything that I don't read in its entirety. I'm not going to present anything to you that I haven't read in its entirety. That's not to say that something might not be correct, because this is why I respect this brother. If you got information, show your information so we can show everybody. They can see what you got to say and what I got to say, and then there is no issue. So you coming on about my 28,000, I don't even know how many people. Well, I don't know. What I'm saying to you is I'd be glad to give you a platform in front of every last one of them so that you can present the facts. That's all we want, the facts. Not your opinion, not your religious belief, not your regurgitation, but the facts, because that's the only thing that I show. Now, when we're talking about these documents here, I've read every last one of them, all 13 of them, and not in narrative. These are the original people. The original people don't have names like Johnson and Jones and James. And no, they have original names. Mohicans. Let me see some of these other names. Ottawa, Chippewa, Moonsea, Delaware, Shawnee. Those were the original people. And so not one time did these original people of this land say anything about Morocco or Sultan or Mexam or Adamat, none of that. Not one time in any of these 13 treaties of the original people of the land. They did not talk about those Sultan and they was getting over, and the only people of this land who have the right to give it away are people of the land, original people. You keep telling us, you keep saying, oh, are the people, we're Moors and we're from here. Well, then go back over there. You don't have no rights to territory here if you keep honoring the mother and fathers over there. Go over there. Well, in this land, the way you get access to this land is honoring the mothers and fathers of this land. See, I need y'all to understand something, and let's be clear about this. Because what has happened is y'all think it's all Albions that did this. That's not the case. This is once again the misinformation going on by a group of people. I don't call themselves Moors. And I don't have no beef with Moors. But if you want beef, then you go fight with my God. I don't have to do nothing. But let's be clear about this, because there were several melanated groups of people coming into the land trying to steal the land, and they're still doing it today. And he's one of them. He's one of them. It's not your land. You keep saying that. You speaking Hebrew over here. The original people don't speak Hebrew. They didn't speak Hebrew. So let's be clear on this. There were several people who wanted access to the land. Britain came in and they started with the Virginia Company. Now, there were Moors in the land in the 1500s, 1600s. There were Moors here of another territory that had already come in and again started establishing another government that we know today as counties. All right. So Britain comes in and they create contracts with the original people. This is why you got these treaties. In 1750, 1722, they made treaties and contracts with them. The first organization they had was called the Virginia Company. And in these treaties, the original people made it clear, listen, Listen, this is what I want you to read it yourself. So you know I'm not snowing you. The original people made it clear. They said, we will subjugate ourselves and we will pay taxes, but this land is to remain in the names of our people for our descendants, thereby putting the land into patents. Sandra, you want to come on? You want to come on? Because don't be in the comment section writing all that stuff. Just come on, let's have this conversation. If you want to, send a message and we're going to send you the link so you can get on and we can have this conversation. So, yeah, what were you speaking then, Sandra? If you weren't speaking Hebrew or whatever, what was that language? Arabic? What you speaking? I know it ain't the same language of the original people. So in order to get title to the land, there were people who came into this land. Number one, they either made treaties or contracts, which is what the British did. Number two, they married into the people of the land. This is what the Spaniards and the French did. They married into it. And I just showed you guys pictures of how that happened and how we can see that for a fact. And the fact that the Spaniards were brown-skinned people like me. And the fact that the original people, brown-skinned people like me. So that's why I told you there were several different groups of melanated people in this land fighting. This is what he's not telling you. Okay, he's sitting here in the comment section and not willing to go live with me. I'm saying let's go live, brother. I love you. I don't have no issue with you. I'm just here to tell what the facts are. And the fact is that you are representing people, brown people of another land, and you keep talking about Morocco and the Sultan of Morocco and all of this. They not of this land. But here I got these treaties that come well before anything that you mentioned. Well before anything that you mentioned. And they put the lands in land patents to this day. So either you're going to have a treaty to try to take over the land, which is what the British did. You're going to marry into the family, which is what the French and the Spaniards did. Or you just going to bogart your way in with some kind of organization that we know of today as counties. That's what the elite Moors did. And once again, to the brother called Sandri, here's the thing. You know, you try to make it out like all Moors, they was just ran in one group. That ain't how it worked. As I said, the counties were set up and established by Moors, elite Moors, people who had knowledge of government and how to write contracts. And I want you to answer this since you in the section, Sandri. Here's the thing. Tell me this. Was there such thing as white, so-called white Albion Moors? No, I don't care. It's so what? It's 1 a.m. Let's do this. It's 2 a.m. where I am. No, it's 4 a.m. where I am. I'm always ready, baby. I'm always ready. Let's get popping. What you doing? Get on the phone. Let's have this out. I don't care what time it is. Day or night, Diva Marie is ready. I thought you was real. You ain't real with it. I just, man, take time. Whatever you want to do, I don't care. But I'm going to do this right here, right now. So I want you all to understand that, you know, brother, I love you. I need to be made clear. This is not a fight, but don't ever threaten. Don't you ever threaten me. Anything you try to do, I got backing. I'm good. I run with God. So that's who you're going to fight. You can't fight me. I don't have to raise a finger. All right. So we got these Moors, elite Moors, who have created this whole counties, which again, counties were to count what people claim to own. They counted land. They counted what you say you own. And that's why to this day, whoever wrote the contracts for the county, this is why I told you, they were very specific about people not being able to change things that are on record. Why? Because there are people who try to rewrite history. And that's why in the laws, it's like if you change anything on record, you go to federal prison. That comes from the Moors. All right. So I want to get into this because, as I said, I just told you We got these Moors that came in here and they created the counties. They created the United States of America. That wasn't created. See, again, he'll say the Europeans. Who was the original Europeans? Melanated people. Morocco, Tunis, Algiers, Montezuma, Tripoli. Those were your original Europeans. That's what the Moors are not telling you. See, this is why you know the difference between European and Indo-European. Why do we need an Indo? Why do we need a prefix on European? Because this is representing these Albion Europeans, and this other European are the original Europeans. That's what they're not telling you. So every time they want to blame stuff on the Europeans, they're not being honest and telling the fact that it was melanated people who came in here and was running the United States of America, that created the counties, that even create. Oh, we're gonna get on this. Let me go. Let me continue because I'm breaking this down. Thank you, STJ, for saying facts. Tell your brother that. Tell your brother that because he want to try to tear down everything we doing because he don't know law. Okay. He doesn't know law, but he wants to tear down what we're doing and claim that he's not going to let me do something. Tell that to my God. You tell it to my God. Because you don't let me do anything. I have a job. I am ordained. And you can't stop this. And everything you try to do to stop me will only enhance everything that I'm doing. You will not stop the truth, and you won't stop Diva-Laree. You won't stop this train. It will go right over you. What we want to do is respect it. I respect you. If you want to call yourself a Moor, or you want to speak Hebrew or whatever you're speaking, I respect that. But again, I say to you, I didn't say you don't have rights, but you don't have rights to the land here because you've all but claimed to be from there. So go back over there and honor the mother and fathers of that land. You don't have no rights to land here. No, we're not ignoring him, 9-9. We getting all up in him because he get ready to be clear on what law is. I'm ready to go back into this. Let me see if I can flip this screen. All right, let's go on and hear more about what Mr. Sandra Moore has to say. All right, we done heard all that. Hold on.
Video to address.
All right, so we're going back to this part. I want to get back to this part where he's talking about.
And that is a legal and historic fact that is known by Muslims and non-Muslims, by lawyers who are Muslims and non-Muslim lawyers, and the government of the United States of America. As far as the Republic,
he says that Islam or the common law comes from Islam. And again, knowing that when we're talking about the Constitution and the United States of America and the fact that the counties come from Moors, I cannot disagree with that. I don't disagree. And again, I don't say that I know everything, but I know enough to have common sense to know what the facts are and what they're not. And I hope he is listening because I'm really going in on some things that he said and making it clear that he doesn't know. He doesn't know a lot of things that he's claiming I don't know.
Public democracy is concerned, that didn't come into play until the Europeans have really broke away.
Once again, who were the Europeans? He's trying to make them out to be Albions when they were not. And once again, I told you all that all of the original people who were running the country, they were melanated. And yeah, they wanted to break away from Britain because Britain was being a tyrant in the land. So they kicked them out
from the British crown. And this was in 1776, Well, it was an African Muslim ruling Morocco, which is called Marrakesh, right, at that time. And it was talking about the whole land that's stretching all the way from the tip of Morocco all the way back down to the Ghanaian Empire, which we call Timbuktu, and further than that.
Once again, bragging about the territory over there. That's cool. Lovely. Go back over there.
That's more larger than.
Because that's where your land is.
What you're talking about today. It was that Sultan who had actually went into contract with the United States based on their request. Based on their request. And based upon their tribute to the Sultan of Morocco.
Okay, I need to say something else too. So let's pay attention to this. He says that the Americans requested, which is when we're talking about the Americans, we're talking about these elite Moors who were running the United States of America, that they requested from the Sultan some backing because of the simple fact that they wanted to be internationally respected. Let me make this clear. Again, I'm going into law. I said this earlier. The only people who have the right to write a contract concerning this land are the original people of this land. And once again, when you go and look at those treaties, you see the names of the original people of this land. They're not Jones and Williams and Wilson and Harris. No. Once again, let me find some of the names so we can understand the names of the original people. Wyandotte, Pathwani, Shawnee, Ottawa. These are the original people. Mingos, Delaware, Shawnee. These are the original people of the land. And they are the only ones that have the right to create a contract concerning the land. Now, when we're talking about the people, that's the Moroccan Treaty. The Treaty of Peace and Friendship, that's only dealing with the people. It's not dealing with the land. Why can't it be dealing with the land? Because the only people who have the right to create any kind of contract are the people who are of the land. But when you read the Declaration of Independence, when you read the Constitution, when you read any of these other contracts, not nary one of them has any kind of name coming from any of the original people. They ain't asked the original people nothing. They ain't say, hey, Ottawa, hey, Chippewas, hey, Cherokees, do y'all want to enter into a constitution contract with none of that? You don't see that look on the Declaration of Independence. That's why I tell y'all to go read it. Go read the Constitution. You won't find not nary original person's name on any of those constitutions. This means they can't have nothing legally dealing with the land. Nothing. Because you didn't talk to the mothers or the fathers of this land. You don't have no rights to land in this territory. And I mean that. And I'm showing you treaties right here that predate anything he talking about, a war or a treaty or peace and friendship. First in line, right? This land is still in land patents to this day in the names of the mothers. Mothers. Read the Iroquois Confederacy. Go ahead. Read the Iroquois Confederacy. And that's telling you that the name of the land is in the names of the women, the mothers. What are you talking about when you telling me about a sultan? Did the original people sign a contract with the Sultan saying that they owed the Sultan land? Not nary one of them did. The only people they signed a contract with was Britain. And with Britain, they said to Britain, hey, we still own this land now. This is in the name of our descendants. We're just going to pay you some taxes until it's time for you to get off the land. All right. I'm going to carry on because he don't know who he talking to. He don't know who he talking to. But I would love to have a conversation. I love this brother. He was respectful except for the threat. I ain't like the threat. I ain't like that at all. But let me keep going. Let me keep going. All right, I'm gonna flip this screen.
International treaty that will protect them in international waters doing trade and commerce. Because although the Declaration of Independence made them nationally free, it didn't make them internationally free. It took an international nation to recognize them. And not only that, Morocco had actually slid in the treaty that America was actually a part of Morocco. It's in the treaty itself.
Everyone is.
That Morocco had actually slid in the treaty that America was actually a part of Morocco, and it's in the treaty itself.
Oh, hold on. Let me go ahead and finish this.
I'm sure you have never read the Moroccan treaty.
Okay. Now, this goes back into what I was saying about making assumptions. Listen up, brother. You don't know me, and you don't know what I have read. Don't make assumptions. And you know, I can sit here and make assumptions about the fact that you don't even know what European means, or the fact that the original Europeans were melanated. Do you even understand that the term Euro comes from Queen Europa, which was a melanated woman? Are you clear on that? Are you clear on the fact that the place that you know of as Africa used to be called Europe, and the place that you know of as Europe used to be called Africa, and they flipped it? This is why you and your people know better than to call yourself African, because it's a colonist term. That's why would you not? You so proud of Africa, and you so proud of Morocco and the land and the territories that it's on, and it was so vast all the way over there. Why you don't call yourself African? Because it's in Africa. What's going on with that? And once again, I asked you, were there Albion white Moors? What were there? Answer the question. You in the comment section, answer the question. I asked you this long time ago. Was there a such thing as so-called white Moors? Answer the question. Because once again, these Moors are not telling you the whole story. They tell you about their little group and, oh, we were from Morocco and we were pristine and we did. I'm going to get into it. Let me continue because this right here. Who said no? No what? Yes, there was a such thing as white Moors, so-called Albion Moors. Yes, there was. And if this man is who he says he is and he's being honest, we're going to see if he's being honest. Because the truth is, yes, there was so-called white Moors. All right. But the vast majority of the Moors were melanated. But let's be clear on that. Let me see if he tells the truth. He's not even trying to answer right now. Let me carry on. Because he ain't talking. He want to play big bad on his channel. But anytime you want to have this conversation, brother, let's do it. All right.
So you're speaking on things that you have no clue. Number one, you don't know nothing about the treaty. If you did, you wouldn't have said that.
Yes, I do. And I read it. And that's why I said it.
You have no understanding of the Free Sound Reports Act of 1790.
It's the same thing as the Peace and Friendship Treaty, so I know it.
You have no understanding of the Amistad Mutiny decision.
I didn't know what the ham sandwich he said.
And these were Muslims. And you sure don't have any understanding of the War of 1812 with Salih bin Laden.
I don't know who Salih bin Laden is, but what I will tell you is 1812 comes way after the treaties that the original people of this land had written and spoken, saying that this land belongs to them. They didn't talk about no Moroccan or no Morocco, Al-Morocco, or Sultan of nothing.
Because these are all guaranteed rights to the land.
This is what I'm talking about. Once again, and I'm ready to go in on this because it's really I ain't gonna lie to you, it inflames me a little bit, but let me woosah. He thinks that these people come from another land, some kind of way have rights to this land. And so I need you to understand something. This elite group of Moors who were running the United States of America, they were running roughshod over the original people of the land. And then when you start talking about Morocco, Morocco came into the picture once George Washington, or before George Washington, because once Britain got kicked out, that's when they sent Morocco in to do harm to the United States of America. So I need y'all to understand that Morocco was working hand in hand with Britain and George Washington, who was a crony, for the purpose of stealing the land. And I told y'all today, there's still a group of melanated people in here still trying to steal the land to this day. Some of them don't even know that they agents. He wants to get mad at me because I'm giving the facts, but he just said it. We got title to the land because this 1812 and all that gives us title. Meanwhile, I got all these treaties over here that says before any of this happened, long before any of that happened, that says, no, we don't know no Sultan of Morocco. What? We didn't even call this America. They said they called it America. We said the Turtle Island. What is they talking about? We didn't say that. But here he is saying, oh, we got titles. Morocco is, and there's nothing that anybody has signed saying that this land belongs to Morocco, and nobody could sign anything like that except for the original people of the land. And the original people of the land didn't sign no treaty with Morocco. I'm going to show you something, because here's what happened with the elite Moors who were running the United States of America. They degraded the status of the original people. Pay attention. Pay attention. Yeah, they had gone and established the United States of America Incorporated. And in doing so, they started to degrade the status of the original people of the land and start calling them black, Negro, and colored. They want to say, oh, the Europeans came in here and they started calling the original people black and Negro. Who were the original Europeans? Melanated people. Melanated people were the original Europeans. And those were the ones who were running the United States of America. And those were the ones who degraded the status of the original people. I got facts of this, but let's go into this now. I'm going to flip the screen. I want y'all to pay attention because the site that I told you to go to, unarepublic.com/docs. At that site, you're going to be able to find one of the original contracts, one of the original documents, rather, that was written by one of the Confederate Indian Council, letter of 1786. This is right in the midst of the war, the Revolutionary War. This is right in the midst of the war. And I don't have time. I do have time, but I don't want to read this whole thing. But this letter, this is the actual letter, and it's very difficult to read because it's written in. Let me see if I can zoom in. How do I zoom in on this thing? Okay, there we go. Just a little zoom. I'm not going to read I'm not going to read any of it because it's very difficult to read. And normally I have it written out so that I can read it quickly. But the bottom line, you can go here, and this is the original letter. And this was in 1786, where this Indian was writing to the United States of America. It says, a speech of the United Indian Nations at their Confederate Council held near the mouth of Detroit River between the 28th of November and the 18th of December, 1786. Present the five nations of the Hurons, Delaware, Thawani, Ottawa, Chippewa, I'm butchering these names, Cherokee, and the Wabash Confederate to the Congress of the United States of America. This is the Indians was writing them. And when I say Indians, don't none of y'all get upset with me. I need you to understand that that was a term that they were called at that time, and they had started accepting that name, and they had called them, in fact, the Indian Council, the Indian Confederates. see, the 5 tribes is called the Indian Speech of the United Indian Nations at their Confederate Council. That's what they call themselves. So don't be upset with me. I'm just telling you what went down in history. So these people in this letter are writing to the United States of America, and they're saying, listen, hey, we need to talk to y'all because, you know, at the start of this war, we came to you, United States of America, and we asked you, you know, listen, what's going on? Because you keep encroaching on land that we didn't give you authority to encroach on. We said y'all can have this land, but you keep moving further and further into our territory, and you've been disrespectful. You killed our people. You sent people to kill our chiefs up here. And all of this war is going on. We just want to have a conversation with you. We've sent you letters time and time again. You're not even respecting or responding to the letters that we're sending you so we can have a conversation. We know that if you just have a conversation with us, then we can resolve this matters like brothers. But no, you keep killing up our people. You're not even recognizing anything we're saying. We went to the King of England. We tried to talk to them. We came to you and you said, oh, just sit back and let us handle it. Now we in this whole situation and you and England, y'all buddy. But we still getting run over. Can we have a conversation? Can we just have a conversation? This is what they're saying. I want you to read it for yourself. Don't believe nothing I say. The people who were running this land at the time of this, 1786, were melanated people. And these are the ones who had started to degrade the status of the original people and had started enslaving them and shipping them up from South America to North America and from North America to South America and discombobulating them, telling them, oh, you're from Africa. Oh, you're from over here. And they don't know no better. They don't know. And then forcing them to not say they're Indian. Forcing them to not declare it or they're going to risk their lives. This is when the Albions got into control then. But I need y'all to understand who started the mess. Those were melanated people who enslaved the original people of the land. The same people who trying to take it over right now and get you to call it Morocco. He's speaking a language that's not even spoken by the original people of this land. But he wants to claim, oh, we got title. You have no title here. If you want title, you go back over there that you're so proud of. And that language that you know, you speak it there. That is your land. That is your entitlement. You have no entitlement here. And you don't threaten me in my land. You don't threaten me in my land. I deal with the ancestors. And you come against God, you come against my ancestors. Or you have respect for the mothers of this land. Let me continue.
And also, Moor does not have anything to do with water. Number one, these are all meanings that you got up out of the colonizer's dictionary. It is unfortunate that you have not traveled or searched any other language to find the meanings. Matter of fact, it says in the European languages and the European dictionary, everyone that we've read, that the term Moor was adopted into their languages. Now, we're not going to tell you where they adopted it from because we're going to produce that. But it did not.
Please produce it. We're waiting. Produce it. We're waiting. Where did it come from? Because here's the problem. Anytime I look up the term Moor, I don't find more concerning people. I find blackamoor. But see, why do I have to have blackamoor if Moor meant melanated people in dark skin? This is what these people are saying. I'm flipping this camera. This is what these people are saying. Moor means dark skin. Well, then why do I have to have the term blackamoor? And why is it a fact that there was a such thing as white Moors? Why is that? What's happening with that? If Moor just means dark skin, I don't need to have something that's called black on it. That's redundant. If it oh, you're black. No, if it means dark skin, then just Moor. That's it. I don't need to qualify it. It's the same thing with European. If European just means so-called Albions, then why do I need Indo-European? Why I need Indo-European over here when I got European? That means Albion, because Indo-European was the Albions, the original Europeans, once again, brown people, Albions. That's why you need a prefix, because it don't have nothing to do with skin color. Moor didn't have anything to do with skin color. It's a verb. Regardless of what he wants to say, see, all the Moors, we know, what did Moors do? They sailed. Moor means a job done on the ship. Who's confused, Jeezy? You think I'm confused or he confused? Listen, I just want to present you with the facts. I don't care what you think about me. You call me what you want to call me. I'm just giving you the facts. I'm just giving you the facts. Where you at, Sandra? Where you at? Let's have this conversation. You scared because it's morning? Come on, let's do this. Who you think confused, Jeezy? I want to hear this. Hurry up, because I'm ready to get started. Who's confused, Jeezy? I'm confused about who you saying is confused. Let's get on to this. I got time tonight. Today, this morning, I got time. All right.
Come from their language as an origin word. So you're wrong. Stop reading the etymology dictionary or the dictionary of 1828. You know, you have to travel outside of yourself. Now, the republics didn't get.
So I didn't read the dictionary of 1828 for that particular title, because the only place that I could find more, and he might be right. Let me say this. He might be right. And again, I don't claim to know everything. But I know that those sailors, those people, Barbary people, I know that when we're talking about Moor, it deals with a ship. That's why when you look in the Peace and Friendship Treaty, when it was talking about Moor, most of it had to do with the sailors. Go read the treaty. That he keep telling you to go read. The Peace and Friendship Treaty, it dealt with sailors, Moors. People who was on ships and did jobs on ship. But you want to tell me it's got nothing to do with maritime when everything dealing with Moor in that Peace and Friendship Treaty had to do with water. How is that? This is why I want to have this conversation, because I got questions. Because what happens is when I start asking the Moors these questions, they either disappear or they start trying to attack. They don't give a response and help to understand what I'm asking. But I've studied and I've traveled, sir, over to that land over there that's called Europe after a melanated woman. I've traveled to the south and I see where Moors have put their stamp and seal on governments, which includes Argentina. Oh, I've traveled. Have you traveled? Oh, you might have, because you're speaking that. Whatever you're speaking, you need to go back over there since you know the language. That's what you need to do.
Black people rights bill, according to me and your skin color, we had that status at that time. It was not a free place for so-called people of color.
All right. So let's make this clear. Once again, he's not recognizing and understanding that melanated people were running the country up until the mid-1500s, the mid-1800s. Melanated people was running the country up to the mid-1800s. He's not going to get that. He's trying to make it seem like melanated people came over here as slaves. He's running with that same narrative, but he claims that I don't know history. How do you tell me, again, well, go down to Argentina. They telling you up until the mid-1800s, it was melanated people running the country. It was the same here in the Americas. You telling me Morocco and the Barbary countries were all in America in 1789, and how big Morocco was in 1789, which is why the Americans wanted to have them backing, have their backing? You mean to tell me you don't get that melanated people was over here running this country when they called on Morocco? And you mean to tell me that Morocco would be okay with their own people being enslaved here in Baghdad? This is what I'm talking about. This is what doesn't make any sense. So here you got America supposedly enslaving all of these Moors, and then America goes and asks Morocco to back them while America is slaving the so-called Moors that are coming from Morocco. What kind of, that doesn't even make sense. Why would Morocco back a country that is enslaving its people? Somebody talk to me. Where you at, Sandry? What you're saying and what y'all Moors keep saying, it don't make no sense. Why would Morocco? That's why I want to have this conversation, because what you're saying and what y'all Moors keep saying, it don't make no sense. Why would Morocco? That's why I want to have this conversation, because what you're saying and what y'all Moors keep saying, it don't make no sense. Why would Morocco? That's why I want to have this conversation, because what you're saying and what y'all Moors keep saying. Turn everything down. All right. If y'all can hear me, let me know. And I will continue. All right. Good. I needed that woosah. Let me take some scissors real quick. And I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna finish this. I got time today. All right. The question is, it is his thought that America asked Morocco for backing in 1777. I will agree. I will agree that that's exactly what they did. But it's also his thought that it was Albion people in here running this country. It's also his thought that the Moors were being called Negroes and slaves and what have you. And I'm asking you, why would Morocco agree to back a country that was enslaving its own people? Why would Morocco do that? Doesn't even make sense. And this is why I'm letting you know he's not aware that the United States of America was originally being run by melanated people, not by Albions. So he's upset with me, but the truth is he don't know what the facts are. He's still under the notion of, oh, we came over here as slaves. That's not, you say you know, but you don't know. Because if you knew what the Barbary treaties were, and if you knew what the Moroccan and the Moorish concubines were, if you knew who the daughters of American Revolution were, you wouldn't be saying this stuff to me, because you don't know true history or law. You listen, you telling me what I don't know. I'm seeing what you don't know. So we're supposed to be having this conversation, because this is not even an argument. I want you to present the facts, and then I'm going to present the facts, and I'm going to ask you some tough questions that what you're saying doesn't make any sense. And the fact is that there's no way you're telling me, or maybe there is, because I'm going to tell you like this. Morocco was backing the United States, but really what they backed the United States of America first because Britain was involved. If you go look up the Barbary Company, what you're going to find is that Britain was the owner of the Barbary Company. And who was the major Barbary Company a part of that, a Barbary state? That was Morocco. And so they had been in bed together since the 1500s, Britain and Morocco. And so when Britain came into the land and they started doing business, well, yeah, it's wise that Morocco would say, okay, yeah, we'll back you, because they was in bed together. They was doing the cane sugar and all that other stuff they were selling together. That's why Morocco would be on their side. But when the Moors, the elite Moors kicked Britain out, then Morocco changed sides. Then Morocco was like, no, we'll go in and we'll beat them down. And they seized the ports. And they smothered the ports of United States of America. They started stealing their ships. But remember, everybody was bringing ships in and out. The Barbary companies, who were they? Tunis, Algiers, Montezuma, Morocco. Those were the Barbary companies. And what was they bringing in? Slaves. But y'all thinking these slaves were melanated. They was Albion slaves, children. Look up white cargo or white slaves in America. Look it up. I'm giving you this information so you can see it for yourself. The Moors were those Barbary states. Yeah, the pirates, the land-stealing thieves. And he's still a part of it, trying to steal land that clearly he's making it clear does not belong to him. All these treaties say so. Continuing.
Black people are Negroes or colors or anybody else like that. It just wasn't a free place. It was a slave-holding camp. So the rights of so-called Negroes, blacks, and colors didn't come until 1865. And it didn't go into place until 1868. And it didn't give them any rights. It gave them a privilege.
He's talking about the rights of Negroes and colors didn't come in until 1865. He's talking about the Emancipation Proclamation. Let's be clear. That Emancipation Proclamation, it gave them some leeway, but it really didn't give them any rights. But they were running the country before then. If you look into the Civil Wars, it makes it clear that melanated people still had some power. They really started to lose it then. And then shortly after the Emancipation Proclamation, okay, I got time today. Let me read what this says. The treaty has to be renewed every 50 years. It's insignificant then. Why paper genocide? All right. First of all, that treaty was for the people, and the people of Morocco and the people who call themselves Americans. I don't want to lose my train of thought because I need to go into something here that again is very deep. I'll go into it later. I'll go into it later.
A privilege to live in a democracy. This is why some people are escaping to free states so that they wouldn't fall under a democracy or republic. They went elsewhere, such as California, that entered into the Union way after 1865. So there is a history that you are totally, possibly unaware of, and at least I hope you are.
The one who's unaware is you, brother. Sandri Moore's Islam. You are unaware.
And you should be doing more research before.
I do a lot of research. A lot. And before you open your mouth, I need you to go find those treaties, brother. And I need you to read every last one of them in its entirety, as I have. And in those documents, it makes it clear of who the original people of the land were. It makes it clear who the land belongs to. It makes it clear that this land is in land patents, and I'm not concerned with the treaty because a land patent has a higher authority than a treaty.
Before you put stuff out there for the public, because you have misguided 28.5 thousand people on your page.
Pay attention, Sandri. I just gave you the opportunity to speak your truth in front of these 28,000 people that you say. I don't even know how many there are, but I gave you the opportunity to do that. And you told me, oh, it's too early. It's too late. If you're serious about your truth, then anytime you should be ready to go. You did not what? You didn't tell me. Come on. See, he's still here. Why don't you? Let me see. We're going to see how serious you are. Hold on. I'm going to get my guy to post. I'm going to give you the opportunity to come on. I'm going to have my guy to put the link. I'm having him to put the link in, and we're going to see how serious you are so that we can have this conversation, because I got a lot of questions, and I know you got a lot of questions. You made a lot of assumptions about me. You don't know me. You don't know me, but you finna learn. All right. Let me continue on, because we can do this all night. This is my time right here. 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. This is my time. This is when the spirits talk to me. Let's continue.
And that is unfortunate that you, as a descendant of those people who were probably once enslaved, and now you are actually teaching the same information that the colonizer is teaching to further colonize our people.
Let me be clear. My people weren't enslaved. And if you are a Moor, then your people shouldn't have been enslaved either. Are you aware of the etymology of the term slave? Are you aware that the original slaves in America, the so-called slaves, were Albions, Slavic, and Slovakian? Are you aware of that? This is not to say that slavery wasn't going on before this time. This is not to say that slavery wasn't going on before this time. But what we are saying is that those Barbary countries, they were bringing a lot of Albion slaves into the land. Look up white cargo. And to my people who are watching me right now, I once again want you to hear this. And you hear this, Mr. Sandri. Pay attention now. Because one of the things for me is I don't want you to believe a word I say. I encourage my people to go and do research. And let me make this clear. My people, that don't have nothing to do with skin color. My people operate in honor, integrity, respect, kindness, compassion, and love. Those are my people. So I tell my people to go and look up everything I say. Vet it. Don't believe me, because I'm going to give you where I bring my research from. I don't speak my opinions here. I don't speak my opinions. I give you what my research shows. And Mr. Sandri, I've given you the opportunity many times to come on here and speak whatever you have researched. Let's do this. Otherwise, don't you ever threaten me. You don't know me. You don't know what I've done. Let me continue.
Instead of telling them that Moor is a free ticket off the slave plantation and off the colonizers' corporation.
Moor is a free ticket to find yourself up under somebody else who is a worse tyrant than the people who you came from under. I'm going to say this again, and I hope you don't like it. I hope you don't like it. You don't stand under somebody ignorantly, because they too will devour you. Moor is a free ticket to find yourself up under somebody who's a bigger tyrant than the people who run in the U.S. who are from Britain. That's what Moor is, a free ticket to find yourself in a worse position than where you are now. If you think these people are tyrants that are working with Britain, wait till you get up under some people who really don't give a damn about your skin color. Wait till you get up under the same people who enslaved your ancestors, the original people of this land, and sent them to the south and sent them to the north. Wait till you get up under them. You cannot be ignorant. Your free ticket, your ticket to freedom is your knowledge. That's it. You want to stand under somebody, you stand under God. That's it. You don't have to call yourself Moor. You call yourself a child of God, and everybody on this planet got to leave you the hell alone. Your ticket to freedom is your knowledge. And who do you stand under? Where's your God? Do you understand the universal laws and how this whole planet is run? That's your free ticket. But they want to tell you, don't come up under us and call this Morocco. And as soon as you do, or you thought you was in hell, wait till you get up under them. You thought you was in hell, wait till you get up under them. Okay, I'm not finished. Let me continue with this thing so I can finish and get up out of here and see if this man is going to come on and have this session with me.
Under 28 U.S.C. Section 3002 at subsection 15. You need to show them how to expatriate. And if you don't know how, I suggest you come to our page, which is the Sunday World Islamic Assembly on YouTube. Like and subscribe to the page.
Brother, thank you. But no, thank you. I don't stand under man. I stand under God. I stand with the ancestors of this land. That's where I stand. And I don't need to take your title Moor. I just take the title God of the original people of the land. And that's all I need to say. And furthermore, your whole idea about
share and watch the first video. And then watch the second video, because then you will understand that an echo chamber that you are placing in is creating more information.
He says an echo chamber that I'm placing people in is creating more information. Let me be clear about this echo chamber. This is not a chamber. You are free to go. You are free to leave. What I'm giving you here are facts. And everything that I speak are things that you can look up for yourself. I've given you the treaties. I've given you the information. I've given you the titles to look up and the topics to look up. He doesn't have any. He talks about the Moroccan treaty. Which one? If you're talking about the peace and friendship treaty, it doesn't say anything that he says it said. And even if it did, that treaty of peace and friendship between Morocco and North America, it bet not have nothing to do with land, because not one original person signed that treaty. Not one. Read the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Peace and Friendship Treaty. Not nary original people signed any of those contracts. Anything any of those contracts have to do with land is null and void, because the only ones who have the right to do anything concerning this land are the original people of this land. And if they didn't sign that contract, then boo. You don't have a contract. You don't have an agreement. There is no way Morocco owns anything here. The original people didn't say nothing about Morocco. This is not their land. Let's be clear on that.
And you're using a platform to do it. Well, we're here to tell you we're not going to allow you to do that.
He says, I'm using a platform to do it. The same platform that I invited you to over an hour ago, and you refused to show up. And for you to tell me you're not going to allow me, let me be clear. I am ordained by God, by the people of this land. You try to stop me and watch everything you do backfire on you so fast. I'm not here to fight with you. But if you start a fight with me, your arms ain't big enough to fight with the gods that you got to come against. Please know that. I'm not here to fight with you. But if you start a fight with me, your arms are not big enough to fight the gods that you are coming up against. Please know that. You don't allow me to do anything. This is my land. My mothers were here. You go back over there to your land where your fathers were.
Especially with our nationality, because we're Moors. So.
Okay, good. So look in the Peace and Friendship Treaty and find out where the Moors are. What territory is for them over there, not over here. Because the treaty clearly said Americans and Moors. Americans and Moors. Moors was over there. Americans was over here. I'm of this land. You have claimed to be of that land. You have no title here. Let me finish this. It's almost done.
Like and subscribe to the page, sis.
I liked and subscribed to the page. I did. I mean, I don't like it, but I subscribed just so I can send you a message. But the message didn't go through, so I unsubscribed. I'm not interested. But thank you, though. I'm just standing under God as opposed to man. I'm good over here under God as opposed to man. You go over there and go back to Africa, because that's where you want to be clearly. Anybody got any questions? Don't you threaten me, brother. Ever. You don't know who you're messing with. This is way bigger than what you're seeing here in this little square. This is way bigger than what you're seeing here in this little square. I am ordained. You don't want to mess with this. All right. I'm not here to fight with you. I don't have no issues with Moors. I respect any kind of knowledge you bring into the game. You should have come on this session that has been going on for over an hour. You should have come on, but you've chosen not to. We've sent you an invite. I tried to log in and send a message to you. Don't use my name again. Don't use my name again unless you're going to have this conversation and we can be cordial. But you were cordial. You didn't say anything disrespectful. I thank you for that, except for the fact that you tried to threaten me, and I don't like that. You don't know me. I'm not a Moor. I'm not black. I'm not colored, Negro, nor a descendant of the slaves. I am a God of the original people of this land. That's what I am. And I don't need no other title to follow that. That's what I said, Sandri. See, look, he's still talking. Why? Listen, you know what? See, now what you're a troll now. You're a troll, Sandri, because I have given you the opportunity to come on this session. And instead of taking the opportunity, invite him, send that link. Send the link, because we can do this right here, right now. You know, you don't call me all these things and say all this negative stuff about me and then not be willing to back it up. We can have a cordial conversation, but I want you to know right now, I don't appreciate being threatened. You don't know me. Send him the link. Hey, True, this is not a debate. I'm just putting out the facts. My guy is saying he's dropped it to you. Because I want to get him on this live and we can have this conversation. I'm gonna get him on this live, and I think I'm gonna put him on the screen behind me. We're gonna put him on this screen. All right. Bringing out my toys. He's sending it to you. Hold on. We're going to get you set up because I want you in here so you can present to all 28,000 of the people who viewing. Y'all hold on, because this brother has some facts that he wants to show you. So let's hang in so we can let him present his information so that he's not saying I'm being unfair. Because listen, I'm only here to present the facts. I'm not saying I know everything. But what I speak about is only coming from my own research, not something that I regurgitated, not something that I believe in, because my beliefs don't matter. My opinions don't matter. Only thing I want to get to are the facts. So y'all hold on and let this brother come on so that he can present his truth. 1 second. So we're trying to hold on so we can let him get in here and we can let him present what he feels he needs to present to everybody. So he's not saying, I'm just, or she's hogging everything. She got 28,000 people. I don't have but 5. That's okay. You can all 28,000 of them girls see you so you can tell them what your facts are. Okay, he's in the room. So give me a second. Let me get him set up. Make sure we can hear him. One second, let me get my I want to make sure we can see him and hear him. All right, 1 second. All right. Now we're good. Okay, I stopped sharing. Where is my video feed? Give me a second and let me find my video feed, and then we're going to get this brother in here, have this conversation so that he can present to you all. Thank you for your patience and taking time with us, because I definitely want to get this brother on so that he can say what he's got to say, and I can ask him all these questions, and let's see how he responds. Where is right here? Boom. All right. Now, here's going to be the tricky part, because I don't know how this thing, if it's going to feed back or not. So let me see if I can. All right. Prabhath, put him on the camera for me.
Hello?
Hey, brother, can you hear me?
I can hear you well. Sis, how you doing?
Good, brother. Hold on for 1 second. Let me make sure I get your video. Prabhath, I need to see him.
I'm in a dark area because I'm on my car, so I'm just on my phone. I'm not even at a computer like you are.
Oh, we can't see you?
You can see me. You can see me. I got the light on. I'm right here. You can see me clear as day. You can see my face. It says something more right up under there.
Hold on for a second. Oh, I see. Make him larger.
Yeah, the thing you got me on is real small. It got my
He's
face
tiny. I need to
looking
see
like
my
half a
brother's
person.
face. Hold on.
You got me looking like half a person on here. When I say half a person, I mean that in the true sense of a person.
Hold on. We're gonna fix it so we can see you. He's getting this set up right now. All right, and forgive us because we rigging now. We rigging right now, so just so we can get you in here. Uh,
Well, we're not gonna have a long presentation because I'm in my car, so what I'm saying. I just seen you was live at I get off
okay,
work at 3 o'clock in the morning. I seen you went live and had me on there, so I was like, why don't we schedule a real in-depth conversation so we can really pull up some documentation and I could prove to you everything I said because everything I said to you was off the head. I didn't have to look that up or anything like that. That stuff I memorized already because
okay,
this is a 20-year study, sister. I mean, to be honest with you, we we the same kind. We look the same. We're the same color, but we just have two different belief systems, and we have two different historic overviews about the Moors and about America. It's a lot of information that has not been given to our people because, unfortunately, we still stuck with the language of English, and there's only a small bit of information that has been transported to the language of English. Unfortunately, we speak in the colonizers' language. So if
okay.
we
Wait,
really
wait, 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 wait,
Oh,
wait, wait,
hold
wait,
on,
wait,
hold
wait,
on.
wait, wait.
Let me
No,
finish
wait,
thinking.
wait,
You
wait.
see, you said a lot of stuff already, and I
No,
listened to you.
hold on. But you
But,
saying a
but
lot
look,
of stuff is not correct. So hold on for a second. Hold
no,
on.
no, listen what I'm saying. We want to
No,
have the
hold
proof
on.
and
Hold
evidence
on.
up on the
Hold on,
wall. So
brother.
let's do this. Let's do it for all your followers. Let's schedule a real and live meeting where we can both pull up documentation and read through it together with all your
Okay.
followers and everybody. Because right now I'm in the car. It's just gonna be
Okay,
me
but
speaking off the
hold
head again.
on.
But you
Before
want
you
to see
say that, hold
documentation,
on.
you're gonna
I need
need
you
it.
to stop talking. I need you to stop talking and listen because we're gonna respect each other. So I
Oh,
need
I
you to hear
respect you.
what
I
I'm
ain't got
saying.
you one of our sisters. I don't disrespect you at all. You just ain't
All
never seen me in person.
right. Okay, but so listen
This
to
ain't
what
no
I'm
threat at all.
saying.
Matter of fact, you
Oh,
talking
see,
to
you
one of the
still
brothers that
talking. You
you
still
you
talking.
yeah,
You know,
because you
can
talking
you
to
hold
one of the
on for
brothers
one
that'll
second?
protect your life before his own, sis. But go ahead.
So what I'm telling you is you keep talking about this is the colonizer's language. This is what I mean when I say you haven't studied everything either. So those people who know and have studied, they know that English language don't come from the Albion. Unless you saying the colonizers are truly the Moors.
We're not Albions. Who is an Albion? We're not talking
So
about social constructs. We're not
hold
talking
on,
about white and
hold
black
on,
people.
hold on.
We're
You
talking about
asked me a
Romans.
question. You asked me a question. I'm going to tell you. So-called Albion is white, but you and me, since you studied so much, you know that the so-called white people ain't white. You know that. You know what white
We're not
means,
talking
don't you?
about white and black people though. Who said that? You said
Hey,
that. I didn't say
what I'm
anything of kind
telling
like
you is
that.
we talking about you just hold up. See, watch this now. See, you just
European ain't
said,
got nothing to
hold
do with the
on.
color.
Thank you for saying that. Then why
If you know anything about Moors, you know we don't even recognize white and black colors anyway. Those are social constructs. You know for a
hold
fact
on.
we
Here's
ain't
a
about none
question
of
for
that.
you. Here's a question for you. Were the original were there Albion Moors?
Light skinned Moors?
Albion Moors.
No, there's no such thing of that.
So-called white people Moors.
No, there's no such thing of that.
See, he the first one that would say that. But ask Moors who've been in it for a while. They tell you there were so-called white people Moors. Then
Because you
you
know
say,
why? Because
hold on. But the
you know
first
why
thing
they
you
say
said
white?
when you came on here, the first thing you said is, we the same people because we the same color. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. All skin
Of
folk
course
ain't
not.
kinfolk.
Of course not. But when we talk about over here, we can assume that a lot of us are the same kinfolk.
I can't because
You
you
probably
talking
can't,
like
but we
somebody who's
can.
not kin to me.
What
I love you, brother. But
no no
you talking like somebody who's not kin to me. My people are of this land. They not from Morocco. They not Moors. Not my people. Now maybe your people.
who are, when you say your people, who are your people?
Really, to be honest with you, my people deal with people who are. operate under kindness, compassion, and love. Honor,
No, I said
integrity.
no. As far
Those
as
are my,
tribe is concerned, who are your people? As far as tribes on this land, the indigenous people of this land have names and have language.
I just showed 13 uh uh what do we call them, treaties.
Which one do you
Where,
belong to?
the ones that were in South America, Ottawa, Chippewa, those.
And
But
that's
then
your
I don't
tribe?
have to listen, I don't have to call their name. What I'm telling you is it
When I'm
doesn't
asking
matter
you,
about that.
which tribe do you belong to? Because I could
It
tell you
don't
exactly what tribe I belong to.
listen. Then if you belong to a tribe, why are you talking about a Moor coming from Africa?
Because America means more. You just don't understand it yet. But
First
we
of
want
all,
to, but we want to present
hold
the
up,
proof to you though.
right
We
there.
want to present the
What does
evidence to you
America
though,
mean?
not just be.
What does
I don't want to
America
just.
mean?
I don't want to just say that. We
What?
want to present
Because
the
that's
proof
what
to
I
you
mean
though.
it because we can look it up and see. Is
You
a
can't. But
marriage?
you,
Hold on, here's a question.
first of
I
all,
got a question for you, Moore.
you can't look that up
I got a question
on the
for you.
internet.
Okay, well then look this up then, or tell me this since you are Moore and you know. Does a Mary mean copper colored?
The people who were found here were copper
I didn't
colored.
ask you that. I didn't ask you that. I
You said
said
America. Of course not. America don't
I
mean
didn't
copper
say
colored.
America. I
Okay,
said,
so what
see,
does it
you're not
say?
listening. Again, this is
I'm
what I
listening
go
to you
through when I
well.
deal with Moors. I asked you a question. Does a Mary mean more? I mean, does a Mary mean copper colored? That's the question.
Oh, no, of course not. America doesn't mean copper colored.
Well, from
Where'd you
what
get the meaning
my
from?
from my research, and
Where?
this ain't just me. This is what Moors have said. They've told you. A
That's not
Mary
true.
is
Let me ask you this. Let
no,
me ask
it's
you a
no,
question.
no, hold
What
on.
is
No,
the
you
word? Hold
don't
on. Let
run
me
up
ask
my
you a
question.
question.
Don't run up my question.
What is the word ICAN mean on the end of America? On the end of America?
Ika means land of the indigenous people. ICA, land of the indigenous people.
That's
According
not what it
to,
means.
see, according to my research, also when you
Where?
talk
Show the research.
about a Mary, it's a
Where? Show
Hebrew
the
term,
research.
dude. Why don't
What
you pull
language?
up? First
What
of all,
language do it come
I
from?
just
What
showed you
language do?
Hebrew.
What Hebrew?
A Mary is a Hebrew term. It means copper color. You
So
can
you
look that
speak?
all up. Now
That's
he
not
gonna
true.
say over on the
That's not
internet.
true.
See,
That's not
again,
true.
he
Have you?
doesn't know.
Do you know
He
anybody who
doesn't know.
speak
So all he
Hebrew? Do you speak
do,
Hebrew?
yes, I do. See, when you assume,
Okay,
when
so
you
hold on for a minute.
assume that I
Hold
don't
on,
travel, I
hold on,
travel. I have
hold
people
on,
all over this planet.
hold
So
on. You say you speak.
yeah, I
You say
do.
you said you speak. You say you speak Hebrew. So
I don't speak Hebrew. I know you just asked me if I know people. Yes, because I
I said,
travel. Do you
do
make
you
a
speak? I said, do you speak Hebrew?
No, you asked me, do I know somebody who speaks Hebrew? I don't
No,
speak
no,
Hebrew,
I didn't
but
ask
I
you.
know people who
I
do.
said, do you speak Hebrew?
So again, I'm asking questions of this morning,
I'm sister.
and I'm
Look,
trying to get answers.
look. I'm
But you
not trying to,
see what
I'm not
happens.
trying to,
And
look,
then when
I'm
I
not.
ask the questions, he say, that's not true. That's not true. Meanwhile, I can look it
It's
up on the
just,
internet, a Mary, and it'll show, oh, this is a Hebrew term. It means copper color. Ika means
no,
land
you're
of the
not.
indigenous people, whether you ICA or IKA. That's what it means. But go ahead.
Well, ICAN, sister, is a European suffix that's attached to the foreign word that's not English called Ameri or Amore.
Who wrote the English language?
Who wrote the English language? The Romans.
See, once again, people who
So you got to
don't
remember
do
something.
research.
So when you say the
Anybody
English,
look? Just look this up. Look up the
look
term
what up.
Phoenicians. Phoenicians.
Phoenicians wrote English? No, they didn't. That's not true.
Oh, somebody look it up right now. See, he just keeps saying that's not true because he
Okay.
doesn't know. And this is what I mean.
Okay.
I know I
First
don't
of
know
all,
everything.
the Phoenicians are
I know
from the
I don't
Levant.
know anything.
The
But when
Phoenicians are
somebody
from
says something to me and I don't know it, what I'm going to do is respect. So like he says some things, like he
the
says,
Phoenicians are
he's,
from the Levant area anyway. They didn't speak English in the Levant, sister.
dude, I didn't say they.
I'm
Do
not.
you know what's the divine? What? Somebody look it up
The
and tell me.
Levant, the Levant in Arabic to us mean Bilad Sham. It means the
First of
land of
all,
Sham.
when anybody does
So
their research
so
on
when
the
you talking about the
Phoenicians,
Levant, the Phoenicians didn't speak English. Number
who
one,
are
they
the
didn't speak English.
Phoenicians? I said the Phoenicians are the ones who created the language. And who were the Phoenicians? The Phoenicians were some of the
They created
people
what language?
who were coming from the Israelite tribe.
The Israelites didn't
That's
speak English.
dude, they created the language. You go look
They
it
didn't
up.
create no language.
Y'all
Where you
look
get
it up.
that from?
Who are the Phoenicians? Do you know who they were?
The
You
Phoenicians
think
were
they
the
Albions too?
the Phoenicians were the ancient Canaanites, Canaan.
Were they melanated or Albion?
I don't. What you mean by Albion? White and black? That they probably was dark skinned and light skinned colored people, just like our people is over anywhere. But the
So
title is their name. We're
if
not
that's
talking about the color of their
see, now
skin,
he's trying to now he's
but you
trying to play
saying
it like the
you
color
saying
of the skin doesn't
no, you're
matter.
saying you're saying no, you jumping from one subject to the next. I
No,
asked you,
I'm
you
not.
said that,
No,
hold
I'm
on,
not.
let's go back for a minute because we talking here, we talking, but you cut
But
me off.
you're the one who started it when
Okay,
you
look,
started
I'm gonna tell
talking
you like
about
this.
how the
I'm
English
gonna let
language
you.
come from
I'm
the
gonna.
colonizers, and you're not recognizing. See, this is the
It
problem.
does come
You're
from the
not even
colonizers.
recognizing that it was the Moors that enslaved the original people of this land.
That's
Moors
not true.
did
Where you
that.
got that from? Where you got that from? Where your proof on that?
Moors will even tell you that.
Where? What
Moors will
Moors?
even,
The Moor
or
Science Temple? We're
do
not
you
a part of the
think
Moor Science Temple.
you think that
So what
what?
Moors told you that? What Moors told you that?
You say they're not a part of the Moorish Science Temple.
Yeah, they I know they ain't told you that. I'm not a part of the Moor Science Temple, so we ain't told you that neither.
Are you part of the
So
Moorish
so
Science
when you
Temple?
say, so, of course not. So when you say the Moors conquered the enslaved the indigenous people, where's your proof of that at?
Okay,
Where's
let's
your
understand.
evidence?
All right,
No,
you
let's
want me?
understand some proof.
You
Where's
don't
your
want me to
evidence
say
at?
that. I have full of a whole bunch of evidence, but you don't
What?
have time
Okay,
to do
well,
it
the
because you're
more
in the car. But see, all my people, these 28,000 people, they're just looking for
you
the
still giving
facts.
them misinformation because you ain't giving no facts. You just saying
I
stuff. You
always
ain't
give
giving no
facts
facts.
because I don't make nothing up. I don't have nothing to make up because what I think is not, it doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter. All I
That's
give
all
is
you
the
giving
facts
is
of my
opinions right
research
now. You
show.
haven't given no proof about no Moors enslaved no indigenous people in America.
Okay, let
I
me
can
ask you.
prove to you that that's not true with
Okay,
the evidence, the
let me ask you a
documented
question.
records.
Well, then,
But you
what we're gonna
cannot
do?
prove to me that that is true.
But I'm going to tell you, and I want you to answer a question, and we're also going to set up another session so that you can
Please
bring
do.
you can bring your proof, and then I'm going to bring mine. So now let's go through this.
That's going to be much more better because this is just a conversation right now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm
It's a
saying.
conversation.
But I have a question to you because
Uh-huh.
you're telling me that the melanated people who were the original Moors were enslaved in the Americas, right? That's what you're saying. Since 1777.
I
Then
never
why
said it.
tell
No,
me
I never said it.
why
No,
hold
I
on.
never said no. I never. Hold on. I never said that. Where you get that
Okay,
from?
so
And if
when
you
were
go
they
look at the
enslaved?
video that I did, I didn't say anything like that. You just showed your viewers the whole video. There's nothing of me saying anything like that in that
You
video.
said that they were enslaved in the Americas. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for that.
I didn't say that.
Let me hold on. Let me ask you a question. Were melanated people enslaved in the Americas?
Of course they was.
By who? Who?
Several colonizers. Number one, the Spanish. They were the first ones. After that,
Okay.
who came next? There was the Italians. I mean, the French were here. Who else were here? The British were here. Yeah, of course. Those are all colonizers.
Moroccans were here. The
Moroccans was
Barbary
not here
countries
enslaving
were here.
nobody. The Barbary what?
Moorish, please, everybody. So he just said the Moroccans weren't enslaving anybody.
They
The
wouldn't. Hold
hold
on
on,
for a minute.
The
You
Barbary
said melanated people. You said melanated people. They
the
weren't
Barbary
enslaving no
company
melanated people.
were the Barbary companies enslaving people.
First of all, Morocco didn't own a Barbary company. That was in England that had a Barbary company, and that was for
I
trade. Now,
said,
hold on
were
for a
they
minute.
one
Hold
of
on
the
for a minute. Hold
Barbary
on.
states?
Okay. So a
Were
Barbary
they,
state.
see, this is what I mean. What was Morocco one of the Barbary states? Yes or no?
Of course, it was one of the Barbary states.
So now this is what I mean.
But
I
but
just
hold on.
said
But you asked the
that
question.
the
You
Barbary
said
companies
Moors taking
owned.
melanated people as slaves. That's not true, and you don't got no proof of that.
I
I'm
do have
telling
proof
you
of
that.
that. I
No,
do
you
have
don't.
proof of that.
Now
Yes,
let
I
me
do.
tell you
There's
something.
proof all
And
over the place.
now we
You
have
see,
proof and evidence. Hold
hold on,
on, we
Frank.
have proof and
When he
evidence.
doesn't know
We have
something, he
proof
can
and
say that's not true.
okay.
That's not true.
Let me hold
He
on. Let
can't
me tell you
prove it,
something.
but
We
I'm
got
showing you
proof.
proof all over the place. I'm telling you to go look it up.
Where? Show us. You ain't showing us yet. Where you see some Moors enslaving some
I
melanated
already
people on
showed
this
my
continent?
people. I already showed my people. My people have looked it up.
Where?
So they don't. It doesn't have to be about believing me. They've looked it
No,
up.
no. Show
And
me
not
where it
only
is.
that, and
You
not
on your
only
computer.
that,
You can
sure
show
I
it to me
do.
right now. You
I
can
don't
just
have
turn your
to.
computer around and show it to me.
We're gonna present everything. We're going to present everything on our next session, everything. Because right now, I just asked you a question, and then all you're doing, that's not true. But you don't have
Because I can prove
anything.
if I couldn't prove it, I wouldn't say it's not true.
Also, I want y'all to
Just being honest with you.
look up black
Number one,
slaves in
hold
America.
on, let me
Look
tell
up
you
black
something.
slaves in America. Look up Morris bathhouses, or excuse me, white slaves in America. Look up white cargo. Look up.
Okay, now you talking. Now you talking. Now you talking. You talking. Now you just mentioned a very important book that's a source material that we use. You right. The Moors did take slaves. They wasn't melanated people. They were Europeans from
Once
Boston.
again, there
Which
were
which is the reason?
who were they
Which is
selling
the
those to? Who were they selling those slaves to?
who they selling them white thing? The book is called White Slaves. It's called
Who
White
were
Slave for
they
it's not
selling
called
the
mel.
white slaves
Hold on,
to?
you said that melanated people were taking their slavery, and you just mentioned a book called White Slavery. Don't book that book in its entirety. Don't mention nothing about a melanated person being enslaved by no Moors from the beginning of the book to the end of the book, and I read the whole thing. So that's not true what you're
They're
saying.
okay.
I'm
They're
telling you,
okay.
you
As long
mentioning
as you
books that
don't
you
tell
probably
the
haven't even
truth.
read. You mentioning books you ain't.
Who were the
Sister,
Barbary
you mentioning
countries?
books you probably never read. Everybody go read the book called White Slavery. You can pull it for free
I just told you to
on the
read white
website. You
slaves in
can pull it
America.
up as a PDF and go read it. Moors
Pull
were
it up.
taking Europeans as being slaves
They
to
were.
Morocco.
Yes, they were.
And by the way, one of the translators
I didn't cut him off. He got cut off some kind of way. Let me say this to you. I'm telling you all of these things to go read because I just asked this man about whether or not the Moroccans were in the land. All of these Barbary countries, Tunis, Algiers, Tripoli, Montezuma, Morocco, they were Barbary countries and they were under the leadership, if you will, of Britain with the Barbary Company. Go and look it up. That's what I mean when I'm telling you, go look this stuff up. I'm not making this up. I don't speak no stuff that I made up because it doesn't make sense. I'm just doing my research and I'm telling you what I found. And I'm telling you that there were Barbary companies in here in the Americas selling so-called Albion or white slaves, right? But after they got finished selling those slaves, then those who were running the country, they enslaved the original people of the land. They were the ones who degraded the status. And this is things that I've looked up and researched for myself. And even those Moors who know will tell you it was Moors running this. And they were the ones who created the Declaration of Independence and all of that. And they were the ones who degraded the status of the original people. Why? Because they wanted to take over the land. They would like this guy here who's claiming to be Moroccan but wants to take over the land. I'm sorry, because I'm aggravated. That's why. Not aggravated, but I'm excited. Forgive me. Morocco-American Peace and Friendship Treaty was one, right? Was one of what? I don't understand the question. So I'm going to see if this guy comes back. But the bottom line is what we're going to do is we're going to set up a meeting where he can present all of his evidence. But you see exactly what I see when I'm dealing with Moors. That's not true. And instead of going and looking it up, I don't have my screen back there like I had. Let me look this up. When I look up, and I'm just looking this up to see like what I've told you. But when I've looked up the term a Mary, and what I find is that it's a Hebrew term. And it means land of the copper colored people. And again, I do a lot of research, so I come across stuff all the time, and there's no way for me to hold on to everything that I come across, because I come across a lot. But when we're talking about a Mary, it is a Hebrew term, and it means Ika. A Mary is a Hebrew term, and it means copper colored. Ika means land of the indigenous people. ICA or IKA. That's what I'm saying. All right, let me get up off of here, because I don't think he's coming back. But if we can, what we will do is set up a time where we can speak. But again, as far as threatening me, that better not ever happen. That don't need to ever happen. Okay, he's back. Hold on for a second. Bring him on. Put him on. Put him on screen. All right, listen. This is what I want to do before. Hold on. I'm not gonna let you talk. I need you to be quiet for a second and listen. What I'm asking you to do, this is what I need you to do. See, hard-headed. This is what I need you to do. You're not gonna talk until you listen. You ready to listen? Are you ready to listen?
Hello?
Yeah, I need you to listen. I need you to get my email address. See, he's still talking. I like I said, this he don't stop. This is what I need you to do. I need you to let's get email address. Send him the email address so that we can set up a meeting for another time.
I'm gonna send my email address in your chat.
You say what? Unmute him. What you say?
I'm gonna put the email in your chat.
Thank you. Now go ahead and say what else you get ready to say.
Talking because you can't hear me.
Now turn your volume up. Turn his volume up. All right, so I'm trying to have this conversation. He left again, and so be it. And I'm ready to get up out of here. I'm sorry for screaming at y'all. Please forgive me. But what we'll do is try to set up a meeting where you can see both of us, and we can have this conversation, and we just present the facts. Again, the things that I'm telling you to go and look up, go and look them up, because it's not about you believing me. He's upset because you got 28,000. I'm going to give him the ability to sit in front of all of y'all. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to get the facts out. And the only thing he says when I give a fact is that's not true. But meanwhile, you all can go and look it up for yourself. Is he back? Because I'm ready to get up out of here. I think he left again. No one wants to study. No one wants to research information. They want to turn on CNN. Okay, Juice. Well, this is why then you have people like him who hasn't studied anything. He thinks he studied, but what he's done is he's studied under somebody else. But what they don't do is they don't tell the truth about what the Moors did. And the Moors, they came in and they ran roughshod over the original people. And let me say this again. This is something else that I want to add as proof of what they did. Everybody, all these Moors, they want to talk about the George Washington's letter to the Sultan of Morocco. George Washington's letter to the Sultan of Morocco. And let's be clear what was shown in that letter, because they want to act like, oh, see, in the George Washington letter to the Sultan, see, it showed that this was the Sultan territory. And I already showed you why this can't be none of Morocco's territory. I've given you 13 different bullets of evidence to show you it can't be their territory, because the original people already claimed it. Here's another thing about that George Washington's letter to the Sultan. George Washington was kissing up to the Sultan of Morocco because they had really seized all the ports of the United States of America. And so this is why the United States of America was begging for a treaty with Morocco, because they wanted to bring the desolation that this seizing of the ports had caused. They had seized the ports, and then you know, you got these the people who were the Moors, the original Moors, the elite Moors. You had them, they was bringing in slave ships too, but the Moroccans would seize those ships and steal everything off of it and sell it and keep the profit. Well, that was breaking them. So because they wouldn't pay tribute to Morocco, that's why they did that. The United States of America was like, no, we're not paying you tribute. Get out of our land. But Britain had called them in. And then George Washington comes in. But here's something about the George Washington's letter to Morocco. Let's understand what went on within that letter. What it shows is that there was this guy called Colonel Proctor. I want y'all to go and look that up and read it for yourself too. Colonel Proctor is George Washington is praising the Sultan of Morocco for helping them with other countries outside of North America and helping them to stand in international. But then the other thing that thing talks about, it says, thank you, Sultan, for helping us and your kind work with Colonel Proctor. Well, who was Colonel Proctor? Colonel Proctor was known for finding and killing the so-called Indians or original people of the land. Colonel Proctor was known for finding and killing the so-called Indians or original people of the land. Now, why do I have an issue about that? Because I told you George Washington and the people who were running the United States of America originally, they were melanated people. And George Washington was teaming up with Colonel Proctor, who the Sultan helped George Washington out with. And Colonel Proctor was known to kill the original people of the land. So then if the original people of the land are melanated people, which they are, then somebody tell me, how can you say that George Washington and even Morocco was working on behalf of the original people when all of them were working together to try to steal the land, and they still are. Morocco's trying to steal the land. Britain's trying to steal the land. George Washington was trying to steal the land. Where are the original people? They haven't signed not one contract. Brian says he was an agent. I ain't calling that brother an agent. I think he just doesn't know. He's with the Moors. That is his religion. It's a religious organization. And you know what happens with people? If he's back, then bring him in. All right. So you had something to say. Go ahead. We're listening.
No, my phone is dying. That's why I keep shutting off like that. So I sent you the email in your chat. You can check the chat, Sunday Moore's Assembly at gmail.com, and you can send an invite and we can talk. As far as somebody saying the agent, man, I done been in prison before, homeboy, so I ain't never been no agent. I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So don't come over here saying no foolish stuff. You got some real people. You got a real brother here. I'm from LA, South Central Los Angeles, man. We ain't never been no agents, bro. So I don't know what you're talking about. So we ain't gonna put that out there. But what we will put out there is real information and real knowledge about the Moors. And I'm gonna tell you again, it's a lot of hidden tracks that you're missing, and that's very important. And I'm telling you as a sister, not because I'm trying to come out against you, because I could care less about TikTok. We just came on here. I could care less about Facebook. I'm a Muslim, and I be at the masjid. I'm in South Central families with the Bloods and the Crips, the homies giving dawah, trying to change lives all around my homeboys. This is what we do. We in LA. We in the heart of it. We in South Central LA at that. You know what I'm saying? On the east side of Los Angeles. So, when you talk about changing lives, the way you change lives is having real live information about.
So I need to say that's good. Thank you for that.
I only said that to show you that you're not dealing with somebody that's from over there where you keep talking about, like in Africa, Morocco. Of course, we all
Okay,
have
so
African. No, let me finish what I'm saying. Of course, we all have African
I
contact,
don't.
and we have African blood in us. Some of us do, most of us do, and most of us that look like us do. You know what I'm saying? Whether we like it or not. But now, a lot of people can deny it, but it's a known fact that the Muslims were here centuries before anybody got here. Any of them colonizers got here. It's just known facts. I mean,
Okay.
I could go down the line and show you on the maps, and I'm gonna show you this in the Arabic text where they describe the people of the land here and their names.
And what did they?
Hold on for a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you a year. I'm gonna tell you a year. This is in the 9th century. This is in 987. There was no.
I would like to see that. Let me say this before you go on. Hold on for a second.
Sister,
no, brother, you gonna break some. You ain't gonna. Hey. See how disrespectful you
It's
are.
your birthright.
You no. I know this is my birthright. So I need you to hold on. I need you to hold. Listen, you can't just ramble off. We having a conversation. Then you got to pause at some point.
I'm going to give you something. I said I'm going to give you something.
You gonna pause?
I'm not rambling off.
See how you? Yes, you are. You're gonna pause at some point so we can have this conversation, because that's what this is. If you're not doing that, then you're being disrespectful.
No, I'm telling you, I'm going to give you something that you don't have.
Okay.
Go give you some evidence.
Okay, so good. And I wanted to say I would love to see that, because I need to make this clear. I have been studying just as you have, and I think you should know that. And as I know that you have been studying too, I think it's disrespectful for you to make assumptions about what I don't know and then refuse to even look up the things that I'm telling you. That's disrespectful, and it's dismissive. It means you're not willing to grow. And that's my problem with people who are religious. You talk about Islam, Islam. What are you studying outside of that? Are you not even willing to look at things that I'm speaking about? That's the problem. So
you're assuming that I haven't.
That you haven't what?
That I haven't looked at the things you're talking about.
You haven't, because you made it clear that you haven't. You just said it's not true. You don't even know. You haven't even looked into it. So you come on here. There are things that you come like interrupting me.
Let me explain
something. So you come on here. You come on here and you.
I told you some things about the Moors is true. I didn't tell you nothing that you said about the indigenous people in them treaties is not true.
Listen, what the problem is that you're not being honest, and the people who you learn from, the problem is that the people who you learn from, they're not telling you the truth about what the Moors did in this land. You're trying to make the Moors out to be great people, and they're wonderful, and they're pristine. They would never hurt anybody. Well, that's a lie. They were part of the people who enslaved the original people of the land. These are facts.
You don't have no proof for that.
We're gonna show you. We're gonna show you proof, because one of the things is because listen, if they will enslave white people, they'll enslave black people. They didn't see the same thing he said. More didn't matter about skin color. He said that.
It don't.
So if it doesn't matter about skin color, then the fact is that I'm letting you know there were Moors, and see, he's trying to clump them all into one group. Like they were enslaved. They would never enslave black people. Melanated people enslaved melanated people.
But he don't want to admit melanated people did enslave melanated people. For sure they did.
I know they did. And he doesn't want to admit the fact that Moors came into this land and enslaved the original people. They were the ones who degraded the status of the original people to black and Negro and color. It was melanated people who did that.
No Moors ever
enslaved. It was more
people over here.
Who were the people who set up the counties?
Set up the counties. The colonizers is the
ones. He doesn't even know the real history of the Moors. Who set up the counties?
Muslims don't set up counties. It's not in Islamic law. The Romans.
I didn't say nothing about no
the
Muslims.
Colonizers did that, not the Moors. The colonizers did that.
Who were the colonizers?
Well, number one was the Spanish. They were the first people to get here. After the Spanish, who was?
They weren't the only colonizers. Who else came in here?
It was the Spanish. Who came after the Spanish?
Who else came in here? You're not gonna talk about how the Moroccans came in here. You're not gonna talk about how the
Moroccans come here and slave nobody. You ain't proved that yet. You just saying that. I'm telling you, historically, the colonizers,
Moroccans and all of the Barbary countries, they were in here, and they were bringing in slaves. They were the main people who kidnapped slaves from other islands and brought them in here. Then when you start talking about the melanated people,
no, that's not true.
These were melanated people running ships up and down, and they were selling them from South America to North America and North America to South America. These are the things that he's not willing to state. He's not willing. This is the problem with the war. They don't want to tell the truth about the dirt they did. Let me tell y'all something. It don't matter. It don't matter what's what, because until the truth is being told, ain't gonna be no unity. Ain't gonna be no unity up in here because Moors don't want to admit the dirt that they did to the original people.
That's not true.
You can't prove it.
You got no proof for that.
We know who wrote the Constitution. We know where the counties came from. They came from the Moors. These were an elite group of Moors who wrote the Constitution. Even Moors will tell you the Constitution is based off of Islamic principles.
No proof for that. Ain't no Moors
even the Moors
will
tell you the Constitution is based off of
no Moors name on the Constitution at all. Period. There's no Muslim names on the Constitution.
Did the Moors ever get the dirt? There's no. Tell me some of the dirt. That's fine. There's no proof of that. But tell me some of the dirt the Moors did. Tell me some of the dirt the Moors did. That's what I want to know. Because they did some dirt. Or was everything they did proper?
Moors didn't do no dirt over here in America. Not at all.
That's it. That's it. Look, just leave your information and we'll have this conversation. I'm done. Because you know, for you to say that.
Hey, look,
let me tell you something. There's dirt in every people. There's dirt in every people. I don't care if you're talking about so-called white. I don't care if you're talking about so-called Moors or Moroccans or Africans. Everybody did dirt. Everybody. And for him to sit here and tell no people up here never did. Look.
They enslaved some Europeans out of here, but they ain't enslaved no indigenous people here. And you know what? You should know that.
Moors was righteous.
So let me ask you, who were the Seminoles then? Who were the Seminoles?
If you believe that,
who were the Seminoles?
You believe in white Jesus.
I don't believe in white Jesus. I'm a Muslim. I believe that the created universe is one without no form, fashion, and no colors.
Listen, you know, you gotta know what the facts are for yourself. And if you want to believe this, what he's saying, that's fine. Go get with his religion, get with the Islamics, get with the Moors. And as I told you, if you stand up under another people and you are ignorant, you will be devoured. You're going to go
up under somebody right now. You're standing under the Romans.
And who's standing up under Romans?
You are.
Put in the comment section who I stand under. Because see, my people know who I stand under. Put in the comment section. Put it in the comment section who I stand under.
Let me ask you a question.
Put it in the comment section because see, you clearly don't know me. You don't know who I stand under. You don't know how we operate.
Okay, I want to ask you a question. You said you stand under.
And then hold up. Right? And then before that, he talking about I stand under Romans, but be the first one to quote a UCC code.
I ain't never. You ain't heard me say nothing about no UCC.
What? Please, Lord. What? Hold on. Wait a minute. He just said he didn't say nothing about no UCC. Hold on. Where is the code?
So you didn't hear me say anything about a UCC.
You said it on that 6 minutes. See, that's okay. Now you know.
On the you said something about a UCC,
but he definitely mentioned a UCC code in the 6-minute document that I just showed you. Go back and rewind it. He just mentioned a UCC code. Who do you think that came from?
He didn't mention no UCC code.
Y'all,
go back and look at the whole video.
Go look at the video. And he definitely mentioned the UCC code. Now, if he don't know what he's saying in his own 6-minute documentary or whatever that was he called that, then how you gonna believe?
Go back and look at the video.
What?
Go back and look at the video. They know UCC.
I don't have to. Hold on. What?
We talking about republic.
I got it. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you the exact code. I got it right here. Hold on.
You talking about 28 USC section 3000 subsection 15? That's a United States code. That ain't no UCC.
Did you
hear
what
exactly
he just
what
said?
I said? I know exactly what I said.
Hold on. He said that's a United States code.
It's 28 USC section 3000 and subsection 15.
That's worse than the UCC. I need y'all to understand. See, he don't know law.
The UCC?
He doesn't know law. It's a federal code.
We don't know law.
You don't. Because if you know law, then you would know that a USC is nothing but a rewriting.
With the United States code, there's two different things.
United States code is, first of all, that's the United States. You know You know the United States, that's up under Britain.
What is that
They
United
the
States
tyrant.
Because now
You
you
United
speaking,
States code,
now
they
you
the
just speaking
tyrant.
out the mouth.
But
Now
what
you
the
ain't even saying
tyrants
what's
have
in the
to
video.
do, listen,
You
because I know
I said something about some UCC, and I ain't said nothing about no UCC in none of my
this.
videos.
Okay, if you think the
You
United
just lied
States
on me on live. You just lied on me in front of all your people on your video who just seen you play the whole video. I said 28
do you know what a U.S. code? Do you know what a United States code is?
Do you know what that means?
Do you know what a United States code is?
Do you know what that means?
Do you know what a United States code is? It's a federal code, but do you understand where it comes from?
Do we understand where it comes from? Come on, sis, you asking outlandish question. You just said
no,
I said
it's not
something
outlandish. Do you understand?
You gonna
He don't know.
what
This
the
is
United
okay.
States
This is
code
why
is.
you gotta know
mix it
law.
up with the uniform
Okay, so mute him for a second.
You mix it
you're
up with
not
the
listening.
uniform commercial
You're not
code.
listening.
The United States code has nothing to do with the
Okay, so listen up. You're gonna listen so I can tell you what's going on because you're not listening.
Your people.
He not listening. So
because they don't know what they're talking
mute
about.
him until I'm finished. All right. I'm trying to tell you. A USC is a rewriting of a federal code. When we're talking the United States
with the UCC, sis, nothing to do. Don't put them two together. They don't match.
What? Hold on, hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna ask you. Hold on. See how
you put words in my mouth in front of all
I don't even know how I'm gonna have a conversation with him because he won't stop talking. So just give me a second. Give me a second. I'm not. I haven't lied on you. I'm trying to tell you. Hold on.
I didn't say anything about the UCC.
Mute. All right. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Hold on. Keep him muted. All right. So what I'm trying to tell you is, so he left. That's what they do when they don't want. You don't want to listen.
I ain't left.
Well, then hold on there. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right. So listen to what I'm trying to tell you.
You lying?
Because he don't know law. So now I'm lying, but I'm gonna give you the opportunity to go look it up. What happens is when you and I'm gonna ask him what a UCC code is because I don't think he knows really what a UCC code is. The United States has to go by federal law. They are under federal jurisdiction. So what happens is when a federal code is written, meaning this is where your protection is for the people. So these UCCs are federal codes. But even before that, there are certain federal laws that, do y'all understand? See, I can't even go into this right now because this is way too deep. This is over his head. If he don't know that the United States Code is written by the United States of
you don't have a clue
the United States Corporation. The United States Code is the United States Corporation, but they have to rewrite these federal codes for their benefit. All right. So that's what a United States Code, it's a federal code, but it comes from them rewriting the true federal code. That's what a United States Code is, because I need you to understand that federal codes are international. Anybody who got a post office box or a post office, any kind of mailing address, anybody who's got that, see how he won't stop talking? I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to have a conversation.
Because you're giving a conversation.
I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to have a conversation with this dude.
Are you talking
to him? He doesn't know how to respect airspace. So let's make this clear. A United States Code is what it's a United States coming from Britain, owned by Britain. They have to rewrite the federal codes because they're under federal jurisdiction. And if they don't rewrite the code, then they don't get the money that they're looking for. They're under federal jurisdiction and they have to have those codes, but they don't go with the real original code. They just rewrite a code, and a UCC is a federal code. Where'd you get that from? But then there are other federal codes that that these people are writing the United States codes from. But a UCC is a federal code. So I'm done with that because I don't see me being able to have a conversation with this being. But I'm gonna send him an email. But I need him to keep my name and UNA out of his mouth. If let me say that he's back, I'm gonna let you talk. I'm going to let you talk now, but I need to know what is a UCC. Need to speak the truth. And if you don't tell me that, I'm gonna mute you again. What is a UCC?
I didn't say anything about a UCC. There's no.
I said, what is a UCC?
I'm not gonna even answer that question because you don't
Because
even
he
know what
don't
it
know.
is. You just explained it. You
He
just
doesn't
said
know.
it was.
That's
You
why
said
he's
it
not
has some.
trying
You
to.
said it come from the United States Code, which is
I'm
not true.
asking you questions, and
Which
I'm
is
telling
not
you
true.
that a
No,
United
you
States
just
code. He's
explained to
telling
your
me
people what
I'm under
you
Roman
just
rule.
explained to your people
Listen,
what you
it's
thought it
even
was,
worse.
and that's
He's
not
saying I ain't
true.
saying that about no UCC, but he's
I
telling me
do.
about the United States code. When that's
The
really
United,
Roman.
first of all,
The
the Uniform
United
Commercial
States
Code, the
code is
Uniform
really
Commercial
truly
Code don't
Roman,
come from the
but you want
United
to
States
stand under
Code.
this United States code and not understand that the UCC is truly a federal code. Okay.
There's two
Let me
federal
go ahead.
codes that do two different things.
You got the people
They do
listening.
two different things. You are totally unaware of the law. They do two totally separate things. The
What they
United
do.
States
I'm
Code
listening.
and the
We
Uniform
listening.
Commercial Code does two different things.
What they do.
First of all, the Uniform Commercial Code says Uniform Commercial Code. Commercial codes. There's a federal code and there's a state code. That's why in the federal courts they use UCC 1-207. In the state they use UCC 1-307. Two different codes, or 303. A state has one and a federal court have one.
Those are
You
both
just said,
UCCs.
hold on. You asked me to explain. You said that the Uniform Commercial Code comes from the United States Code. Well,
I didn't say that.
Hold on.
I didn't say that.
Okay,
No,
so
it ain't true because I didn't say that.
Okay, so
I
what
didn't
you
say
put
that.
together? Because that's
Correct
what I got out of
yourself.
what you was trying to say.
You correct yourself. Okay, correct yourself. I didn't say that.
Hold on for a minute. Let me finish.
Correct yourself.
Well, that's what I got out of what you've been saying. So let me
because once again, you
28
got that
USC.
because of the
Hold on,
simple fact that
28
you're not listening to what I'm saying. I said specifically, I said the UCCs come the U.S. code come from the UCC. These are rewritten federal
United States code
codes.
don't come
That's
from
what
the
I
UCC,
said.
sis. That's not true.
The U.S.
That's not true.
codes, United States codes,
United States
are
code does not
rewritten
come from the
federal codes.
UCC code.
Is anybody paying attention? Because I know he's not. I want to make sure y'all paying attention.
You ain't put up no.
So that you don't end up under a group that's gonna.
No. You haven't put up no
devour you.
Record, no federal code that says.
So let me be clear on this, so you hear what I said. I said that the United States codes come from rewritten federal codes. They are under the jurisdiction. But if you talking about, I go with United States, then you don't even understand. You talking about I'm under Roman rule, you under Roman rule. But go ahead.
Not under Roman rule. We under Sharia law. You under Roman rule. You don't even have a law.
No, sir. I'm not under Roman rule.
Yes, you are.
If you talking about, you're the one who quoted the USC. What you think?
The USC. Do you understand the code that I quoted? Why don't you look it up and read it for your father?
I looked it up. I know what it is. So you're not understanding that it is a rewritten federal code. But what else you got to say? Moving on. What else you got to say? What else you got to say?
Let me tell your fathers what it means. 28 USC 3002 subsection 15 that says that the United States is a federal corporation. When did the United States become a federal corporation? And did the UCC exist when they became a federal corporation? No, it didn't. They became a corporation in 1871 when it went bankrupt. There was no such thing of a UCC at that time. There was no such thing of a uniform.
When did the UCCs come into play?
Man, I'm gonna get off this phone, man.
Hold on. When did the UCCs come into play?
To a professional, man.
I am a professional.
I think you need to go read federal. I think you need to go.
I know that is. Listen, you're not paying attention, so he doesn't pay attention to what he reads. Yes, it is a federal jurisdiction under federal.
All your followers,
it's under federal jurisdiction, and that's true.
The USC codes has nothing to do with those codes you're talking about. They have nothing to do with the UCC. Those are two different things.
Is the USC code, is that a federal code?
And if you've been in court litigating,
is the USC code a federal code? Is the USC a federal code? I'm asking you a question. Is the USC a federal code? I'm asking you a question. Is the USC a federal code?
Those are two separate jurisdictions.
I didn't ask you that. See, he's not answering the question. This is what I mean when I'm talking to the Moors. I asked you a simple question. This is a yes or no. Is the USC code a federal code or not?
No, you're not gonna do that. You didn't know.
He doesn't know. This is what I mean. So you all are welcome to go over there to the Moor. Listen, hey, I'm inviting. Listen up. I'm inviting all 2,800 of y'all to go over to, what's the name of your page? Sundrit, Fundrit, whatever it is. Go to his page and join with the Islam and the Moors. Call yourself a Moor. I invite you. See, hey, I just gave all my people invite to you. They're going to come to you. So you going to teach them, okay?
That's not why we here.
So I want you to go let him teach you, because he is the professional and he knows everything. All right, y'all go over there to him. I'm promoting you. Go to Sandra. What's your name? Sandra, whatever. Go to him and see him and hang out on his page and get all his information so you can get all his knowledge and you can become a Moor too. And have no title to land in this land, because we here, we honor the mothers of this land.
Everybody. And it's free. We don't charge.
And it's free. We don't charge.
We didn't come here for that. We
didn't come here to get followers.
Any other followers.
Turn his mic up. We letting him talk. Come on, talk. Promote yourself.
Videos that you make.
Turn his mic up.
Only your followers can see your version and nobody else's story. And then you put in the comments.
I told you. Listen. I can't get you on the camera. So what I'm saying is, I'm inviting everybody to you. Go over there to Sandra, whatever his name is, and see his page, and then join up with the Moors. It's free. It's free. It's free. It's free.
Not you.
Okay, it's free. So go over there to him, because I'm gonna charge you. Now I'm letting you know. You want to come here for the real information, I'm gonna charge you. And I'm not gonna never tell you that ain't true. I'm gonna give you some proof. So go over to him. I'm inviting everybody over to you, okay? So I don't want you to say I'm trying to sabotage you. I'm not sabotaging this brother. I want y'all to go visit him, visit his page. It's all free. And you can get all the information you need about the Moors, except for the stuff he's not going to tell you, because he's not going to tell you the real stuff, because the Moors didn't do no dirt.
You the one that's leading the people. We coming after leadership, which is you.
I'm not leading nobody. You know what I lead people to? Spirit. Spirit. That's what I lead people to. Y'all not supposed to be following me, only to get to your spirit. That's the only thing I lead people to. That's it, and that's all. So for me, it's all about knowing who you are in this dimension. That's first and foremost. Who are you? What are these universal laws? What is the basis? That's where I'm coming from. I'm not here to, don't be talking about diva for president. I ain't trying to be president. All right, your spirit is supposed to be leading you. And so when you come in contact with this dude, what does your spirit say when you come in contact with him? Do you feel like he's telling you all the truth? Do you feel like he's leading you to the facts? If he is, and just what you feel, go visit him. I encourage you to. It's free. Because you're going to pay here. I need you to know that.
Let's get your people on so we can show you the information that you don't know about.
I told them to come to you. I'm not holding them back.
All the evidence.
Okay, so I told them to come to you, but you don't know how to respect airtime. You don't know how to respect airtime, and so for whatever reason, you think you're going to dominate me here, and you think you're going to threaten me into not saying what the facts are. Let me tell you something. Listen, we can have a conversation, but don't you ever threaten me. Don't you ever threaten me.
Sister, let me tell you something. Number one, you're a woman. I don't threaten women.
Yes, you did. You tried to threaten me. He said, number one, you're a woman. I don't threaten women. That's what your video said. And then you're talking about you throw rocks. We're going to throw rocks back. Let me tell you something. Your arms are too short to box with God. Your arms are too short to box with God. Don't you ever threaten me. All right.
You made a video about the Moors that's not true.
I made a video about the facts. He said I made a video about the Moors that's not true. I made a video about the facts. And once again, don't believe me. Look up the things that I tell you to look up. If you find this information and it's factual, but it's not your truth, I respect that. If you feel like you need to go under a religion and be a Moor and stand under that group, I respect that. I'm letting you know, however, if you stand under anybody and you are ignorant, you will be devoured. I don't care how free it is or how much they love me. And that's not how it works. Everybody who's ignorant will get devoured. Everybody. And this is why I'm here offering you the information. So you got the right to go over there to that brother. You got the right. I'm not telling you not to. Go over there and see him. It's free. It's free. But you heard it here yourself. Every time I ask a question, I'm not going to answer that. Oh, that's not true. But he doesn't take the time to go look it up. That's why I told you to go look it up. Because when you learn to research on your own, nobody can dupe you. Nobody. All right, I'm going to get up out of here. I want y'all to know I love you. I'm sorry for screaming at you. I love you. And he says, Rock says, Great Depression, 1933, U.S. bankruptcy. So let me make this clear to you guys. A USC code is a federal code. All right. When it talks about the United States is a federal territory, that means it's under federal jurisdiction. That means it can be sued just like any other person. It can be sued. And so that's one of the things that code says, but it doesn't give you quote unquote freedom like he's saying it does. I told you what gives you freedom. When you're under trust and you know how to stand and you have knowledge, that's where your freedom comes from. Not from a USC code nor a UCC code, but knowledge of how to stand. And I need y'all to understand something else. When we're talking about federal codes, there are federal codes, and the UCC is a rewriting of federal codes. And when you look at those UCC codes, now those will back you. Whether they're commercial or not, a UCC code will back you. That is a federal code. The USC code is a federal code. And there are other federal codes, which includes the Fair Debt Protection Act. That's a federal code. An act is along the same lines as a code. All of them are federal. But you got to know the difference. He doesn't. All right. I want y'all to know I love you. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for tuning in and joining. Yeah, I enjoy this excitement. I like to spar. Boop, boop, boop. I like to spar. Maybe we'll have a conversation with him, but the problem is he doesn't know how to respect time, and he thinks he's going to come in here and dominate me. And then when I ask him a question, he doesn't answer it. That's what the Moors do. That's what always happens when I have a conversation with him. And then to say, oh, the Moors never did anything. If y'all don't know that's BS, again, y'all just believe in white Jesus. All right? Just believe in that. It's as true as white Jesus. Because the Moors came in and they enslaved the people. And not only is there proof of it, the Moors will tell you, those who know and are willing to tell the truth, they'll tell you they did it. They'll tell you. All right. Let me see if I have any questions. Do you use codes when correcting your status? D. Whitfield, yes. Federal codes. We also use universal laws. We use common law. We use maxims of law. We use the Bible. Yeah, we use all of that. We throw it at them. Why Moors are using UCCs anyway? CCQC. Thank you. CCQC said a great, why he didn't say nothing about God? Everything was Islam. That's the religion. Where is your God? Put them on, Rabbi. Where is your God? Hey, I got a question before you talk. My people want to know, because they asking questions. They're like, why you using codes anyway if you are Moor? Why you've been talking about all Islam all this time? Not one time did you mention your God. What is he? What is your God?
Okay, so you gonna let me answer? Okay, so let's answer the first question first. First of all, my God is Allah Ta'ala, the creator of the universe, who created everything in creation, including the human beings and everything above and everything below. He doesn't have a face. He doesn't have arms, legs. We don't believe in anthropomorphism. He hasn't been killed, hung on a tree, bled to death. We believe that the creator of the universe is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's outside of time and outside of creation, and he is the creator, and we are creation. He has mandated that we worship him. And the Quran, Allah says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I've only created mankind and jinn for worship, and that's to know the creator of the universe, that he's not a man, he's not a woman, and that he's not a human. That's God for the Muslims. And we say, La ilaha illallah. There's no deity worthy of worship but Allah, and that Muhammad is the last messenger of all the line of the messengers. That's the last prophet. You never heard me use a code or anything to correct my status, because number one, we don't follow codes to correct our status. We don't do that. In Title 4 of the Expatriation Act, it says that whoever has taken oath of allegiance to a foreign sovereign is no longer a U.S. citizen. So our oath of allegiance is taken when we enter into the religion of Islam. It's either you're born into Islam, or it's either you take an oath. You bear witness that there's no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is a messenger. That law form is outside of anything you mentioned. Now, you talked about common law.
Can you repeat that for me? Hold on, because you're going too fast. Can you repeat what you just said? You are not a U.S. citizen if you what now? Say that again, because I don't want to miss.
If you take your oath of allegiance to a foreign sovereign, you're no longer a U.S. citizen.
If you take your oath of allegiance.
If you take an oath of allegiance to a foreign sovereign, you're no longer a United States citizen. Go read up the Nationality Act.
But what does that have to do with you as
I'm going to tell you what that means, that when we take Shahada, everything that exists in the United States Corporation under the 14th Amendment no longer applies to anybody that's a Muslim. Period. It don't apply to us at all. Not one iota.
So why did you mention that USC code? But why?
The reason why I mentioned the 28 USC code is because if you don't know that the United States is a federal corporation, then you don't know how to get out of there. And if you don't know where their jurisdiction lies at, a lot of people think the United States of America is a country, and it's not. America is a country, but not the United States.
My people know that.
United States is a corporation. I'm not saying you don't know that. I'm quite sure you do know that. But if you wouldn't have questioned me about the code, then the code is in 28 USC 3002 subsection 15. It said the United States is a federal corporation, so it's not a country. So there's a contract in place. So if you got any contract, driver license, social security card, birth certificate, any of that type of stuff, even any of the seals that you use in a court system from their court system, and you don't have anything coming from an indigenous Native American tribe or Islam, then you are technically under the 14th Amendment. And if you're indigenous and you're under one of them treaties that they done signed over to them, like my people did in Oklahoma when they signed the treaty in the Trail of Tears, that treaty specifically made my people dependent sovereigns of the federal government. And it's
okay, good. Stop right there. Got a question. Hold on, stop right there. Stop right there. If you know you indigenous and you talk about my people who are indigenous, why are you talking about the Moors?
Because my indigenous people.
Hold on, part two. Let me ask you. I said it's a part two. I'm asking you 2 questions because I know you're gonna go on. So, okay, cool. Part one.
I thought you had
one of the question. If you know you indigenous, why are you not just standing under the indigenous? Part two. Part two of this question is, if you say you are Moor, why are you talking about a USC code when you can simply be standing on the Peace and Friendship Treaty when you keep talking about it? So you keep going back to a USC code.
Hold on. You asked me a question. You asked me a question.
Instead of, why are you not standing under the indigenous people and the treaties of the indigenous people as opposed to the USC code or the Peace and Friendship Treaty? Go ahead. I'm listening. Unmute him, Prabhat.
Somebody muted me. Okay, I'm unmuted now. You asked me 2 questions, right? Now let me answer the first one. Okay, you said indigenous, right? Well, number one, indigenous people are dependent sovereigns of the federal government, all of them. I don't know one indigenous people in this country that haven't signed a contract to make themselves dependent sovereigns.
Okay, hold on for a second. He said, because y'all might not be able to hear him. He said that the indigenous people, hold on, I'm trying to tell them what you said because they can't hear you. He said the indigenous people he said all of the indigenous people are citizens. They're under the jurisdiction of the United States Corporation.
didn't say that.
Dependence.
I said
I'm sorry, he said the
dependence.
term dependent, but I totally agree with him. He's correct. He's correct. They're not sovereigns. Is that what you're saying?
Now, for now, number two, you said UCC code. Let me tell you something. I don't have in my documentation nothing in reference to anything in reference to the United States, because it's on the Sunday Morning Islamic Assembly, it says in the Sunday Morning Act that you read that the laws
Hold on. Your volume is low. Let me see if I can get your volume up. Give me a second. I'm trying to get your volume up because I want them to be able to hear you. Can you turn his volume up, Prabha? Hold on.
Can you hear me now?
No, you still low. Hold on for a second.
Oh wow.
Give me a second. Hold on. Turn your volume up on your end. Because I want them to hear you. Hold on for a second. I don't want it to be.
Okay, I'm still here.
Hold on. All right, say something.
Hello?
That's a little bit better. Prabhav, please turn his volume up. He's saying you can do it.
My volume is all the way up to the top of the line.
All right. So go ahead and but again, I agree with you. The people who call themselves Indians or what have you. But I'm saying I agree with you on that they are. Go ahead.
I just want to answer your second question. Okay.
Go ahead.
So let me answer the second one. The
Go ahead.
second question is that I mentioned the code just to let you know what a code was at. That jurisdiction did not apply to Moors at all. The only thing we use is the treaty. After that, if we go to the Constitution, is Article 6. Because Article 6 says that this Constitution shall be the supreme law of the land, and any treaty written thereof. Therefore, we got a treaty, so we don't need the Constitution anymore. That's our state biography.
Okay.
So go to the First Amendment, to right interpretation. None of that.
Okay.
We don't use any codes. Hold on, we don't use any UCC. And one thing that the code in the UCC that we will use, the language only and not the code, because we don't want to be part of the code jurisdiction. It's called without the United States. You sign a document. And that's it. We don't put no UCC gas nothing on there, because that brings you into a code jurisdiction. When you use a code, you give the court jurisdiction to interpret that code.
All right.
They're all copyrighted anyway. You can't use copyright material.
That's and everything you're
And they didn't copyright the Sunday Morning Act. Them documents and the term Moor hasn't been included in the United States corporation or jurisdiction at all. It's not there. That's why we're not on any documents when you say Chinese American, Black Americans, Native Americans, all that kind of stuff. You never see Moor written on any of them contracted 14th Amendment citizen documents, period. Not on one. And you will never see it. Because
okay, so good. Now, okay, can we get a pause now? Good. So we heard you now. So, okay, and thank you for answering those questions. Now, let me say this, because you're assuming that we don't have this same thing in place. The same way you Moors can create a. Well, yes, you are when you assume that we don't know how to stand, and you talking and you're making this assumption talking about I'm under Roman jurisdiction and all that. You don't even know what we have set up and established. You don't know. And one of the things when it comes to UCC code, like I tell my people, you don't use those codes. We create our contracts with our words. So what I'm saying to you is you made an assumption about the things that I do. And yes, you have. That's all in your documents and your video.
No. We haven't made any assumption. We made.
You made a what? I can't hear you. You went mute. You say what?
We made a video about what you said about the Moors. We didn't say anything about your status. We said what you made about the Moors was not true. And in the video, we explained that all them type of jurisdictions that one may go to that one may utilize. We don't utilize any of them. We know about them. We know about the UCC.
And neither do we.
United States Code. We you know about all that. We know about we in this country. It's either three things about you in this country. It's either you're a dependent sovereign. It's either
you cannot be a dependent sovereign. Ain't no. That's like saying sovereign citizen. There's no such thing as a dependent sovereign. Either you are sovereign.
It's in the law. The Native Americans
No,
to it.
no. What they did was they created.
Those treaties then.
Dude, what I'm telling you is, if you dependent, you can't be sovereign.
They're dependent sovereigns because they're dependent from the state. They
Okay.
are under the federal government.
Listen, that's
why
like
when you're going on Native American lands. Hold on, that's why it says when you're going on Native American lands, you're now leaving the United States. Have you ever seen that?
listen to what I'm trying to tell you.
You know,
Listen,
the United States when you go so what?
You're
Let
not.
me ask you. Why does it say that? Why does it say when you go into the Native American land, you're no longer in the United States?
You gonna let me answer?
Right there when
You gonna let me answer? You gonna let me answer? You gonna keep talking?
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Okay, so just listen. Okay, good. So one of the things I'm letting you know is that they have made a treaty whereby this land is under their jurisdiction. However, what they've done in a lot of these Indian nations is they have incorporated their Indian nation up under the United States Corporation, not knowing that they didn't have to do that. That ain't true. That's not true.
That's not true because they knew what they was doing.
How can a sovereign answer me this? Don't talk over me. Don't talk over me because you talk. How can hold on? No, you hold on. I need you to hold on. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this. I need you to hold on because what I'm trying to ask you is how is it that you a country that's not sovereign, how can a non-sovereign country or quote unquote country take away a sovereign's rights? How can something beneath me take away my rights as a god? It can't unless I sign over those rights. So there was situations where an Indian organization quote unquote lost their sovereignty by the United States. It says the United States took away their sovereignty. This ain't possible if you're truly sovereign. If you're truly sovereign and you know law, the United States don't have the ability to take nothing because the United States is a dead, fictitious organization. It can't take away power from a real being unless that real being has given them the authority to take away their power. He don't know this. That's not true. That's not true.
That's not true.
These are the facts.
It's a war took place.
These are the facts. But you're not going to hear from
the Native Americans.
Moor. He's sitting here telling you this. He don't know it. On there, he gonna say, "That's not true." All right, I'm going to unmute you. Go ahead.
Okay. I actually didn't know I was muted, but what I'm telling you is that they lost the war. What part of that you don't understand? We lost the war.
Who lost the war?
There was no fighting back. Where do you think the Trail of Tears came from? How you think the Native Americans ended up in Oklahoma?
Who were the people in the Trails of Tears? Who were the people in the Trail? Who were the people in the Trail of Tears? Who were the people in the Trail of Tears?
Who you think they was?
I'm not gonna tell you because you're gonna say that's not true. That's not true.
No,
I want to know
was
who was that? What they look like?
They was indigenous people.
What they look like?
They had. What you think they look like? What is that?
I'm not gonna tell you. I asked you a question. I'm gonna unmute you. I asked you a question. What did the people in the Trail of Tears look like?
They look like me and you.
Okay, thank you. Melanated. They lost the war. You're right. Now,
you lose your sovereignty, unfortunately, until you fight and get it back, which most of our people ain't gonna do anyway.
Okay, so what he's saying, gonna
give them something back because they saying the land is ours.
let me tell you, that's not true. That's not true.
It's not true.
Let me tell you what the deal is.
No, it's not true.
All right.
Don't make people believe something.
Not only did they lose the war, but they lost knowledge. I need y'all to understand who was running the United States during that Trail of Tears. This was between 1777 and 1789. The Trail of Tears happened. Now I need y'all to understand what happened. On that Trail of Tears, this is when they coming from over on the east, and they drugged them all the way to the place that we know of today, where they had the Black Wall Street. Oklahoma. Oklahoma is where they made them go from the East Coast all the way over to Oklahoma. All right. So it was, when we're talking about the Indians lost the war. Remember, I told you the people who he's not going to tell you about, these Moors who came in and enslaved the
You
original.
go up the Moors again.
That's true. It was melanated.
Allah Akbar. You know, you're
And so
a good sister,
they,
man. You guys,
they had this Trail of Tears that they're doing. And again, this was a time when the Continental Congress was in, and we know there were melanated presidents during that time. That's how we know.
All that. We talking about the Moors.
What's been hidden is that there was melanated presidents. All of us know this. So how can he tell me it's not true that Moors came in here and had something to do with the indigenous people? When we know it was at that time that their status was dropped to black and colored and Negro. Who did that? Melanated folks did that. Moors. Maybe not your Moors, but there was Moors who did that.
No, it wasn't.
There were Moors who did that. No, it wasn't. That's not true.
It's not true. It's not true.
That's not true. Go ahead, say it out loud. Say it out loud. That's not true. Let me hear you.
I'm muted. That ain't true. Keep me unmuted so I can keep telling you.
Can I tell you something? I love you.
You ain't giving no evidence. You ain't giving us no evidence yet. This is a long-winded conversation. There's no evidence came out of no Moors, slavery, no country, no melanated people, nowhere on the American continent.
We're gonna do it together, okay? You show yours.
Give me your email. Send me your email. Send me the email in the comments so we can set this up, because I don't have your email. I sent you mine, but
okay,
send me your email so I have it.
I promise. Hey, I love you. Is that not true? All right, I gotta go. All right. I don't love you. I do. I'm gonna get off this phone, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Send me your email so we can set up this next evidentiary hearing.
All right, we'll do. I will. We're gonna get together. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you.
I appreciate
you. Have a nice night.
Give me a hug.
Give me a hug. Have a nice morning.
Give me a hug. All right. Bye-bye.
And I'm a Muslim. I can't give you a hug, sister. The only way I can do that is my wife, but that's not what it is.
You can't hug. Bye. Get out of here. I'm out. Bye, y'all.
All right.
Bye.